Welcome back to the show, guys. It's episode number 96 on a special Thanksgiving day. And that's not Gingy. It's not Gingy or Angel. It's who is it? Who is it? It is my boy, my work son, my brother from another, Dillons.
How you doing? How y'all doing?
What's up, Dillons?
With the S on it. Makes me sound special.
It's got to have an S, man. It's just the way it is. It's Thanksgiving. We're doing a quick, short, fun episode. Him and I are both basically losers without family or friends around here. So we figured we'll do it together. Let's have a Thanksgiving, unconventional, fun day together.
Exactly.
We ate some unconventional Cajun food.
Some shrimp boil.
Yep.
That was good.
Thank you. We what else did we do? We talked about all kinds of dumb stuff. We just
talked about dumb stuff. We sparred a little bit.
We just sparred a little bit. Which is, that's a good time in my world. Yeah, I might be having the greatest day of my life, guys.
Yeah, we're wearing the same color.
We're wearing the same color, bro. It's like I found my son, man. I found him. I don't know where you've been all my life, but I found my son.
You're 23 to meet it. I showed up.
Yeah, who would have thunk, man? I had a kid in Atlanta this whole time. You know, it just
a dope place, and a lot of crazy stuff happens there. So I'm not shocked whatsoever.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right though. Like I know we got similar clothing on, but something's missing, bro. What is it? What is it? Oh, that's right. Please hold. And we're here. We're back. If you're just listening to this, you need to get on the YouTube channel and check it out, bro, because this is father-son time right here. Wholesome straight entertainment.
We match outfits. We look good doing it.
Yeah, I was going to teach him some basic kickboxing. The kid already knows a bunch of shit already. I'm like, damn, this is my son.
Exactly. Hide your moms, hide your daughters.
Yep, everybody's getting pregnant.
I'm going for the moms. He's going for the daughters. So
I don't like that. I'll go for the grandmas. I like the older ladies. I'm not a young cat. So they call them cougars if they're older. What's a kitten?
I don't know. I'm kidding. I've never heard that. I know that it's cougars, and then what's above cougars is panthers. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I'm making that up. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I don't know. We'll say if you chase young chicks, you go after the bobcats.
Bobcats is nice. Yeah, kitten sounds weird.
Yeah, that sounds creepy. And bobcats is creepy too. But
yep.
So bobcats, cougars, and
Panthers. Yeah,
Panthers is what it is. It's what it is.
I'm going for cougars. You're going for panthers. So hide your grandmas, hide your moms.
Yep. Everybody's getting pregnant. Even if they think they can't get pregnant no more, they're going to get pregnant.
Yeah, menopause don't mean nothing.
No, we're going to fight through it.
We froze those eggs.
Oh, God, it's so inappropriate already. We went from a wholesome Thanksgiving day to already talking trash. But
wow, I guess it is still a wholesome Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for, Eric?
Look at you segueing. This is my son, guys. This is my son. Dillons, I'm thankful for you, buddy. I'm thankful to have a good friend that will come hang out with me. It's my first Thanksgiving post-divorce, so I don't have my children with me. I don't have my ex-wife. Don't have family around. My family's in the South. Shout out Mops and Pops. Y'all have living it up in Louisiana right now. I miss you guys. But it's a weird transition time for me right now, being post-divorce, first holidays, and we're at Thanksgiving now. So this is the first Thanksgiving without my family. Dylan and I talk. We work together. He's my comrade. And we're like, hey, dude, let's do something. Let's do something, bro. So we're doing something.
Yeah.
We're recording an episode. We did some sparring. We eat like kings, and this is what it is, bro. This is our new tradition.
Can't complain.
I like you.
I like you too. Yeah, I guess going based off of that, I'm thankful to be out here, have a friend like Eric, invites me to do stuff like sparring and eating, some home food together. The holiday times is weird for myself as well. Don't have like a whole lot of family, so
yeah, we're out here in Colorado, and you're from Atlanta. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana, so we're not in our home area. So
no, yeah, so it's different, and I like having a good time. So that's something to be thankful for, man. So
yeah, it is. This you guys just getting introduced to Dillons. He's a young man, but this kid has got a great head on his shoulders. How old are you? 21 years old, man. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get a whole lot of time to get to know him on this episode. It's going to be a quick episode, but trust me when I say this young man is a pillar for the community. You work with boys and girls clubs.
I do.
Working with the youth.
I have my own nonprofit that I started up for the city of Lakewood.
It's beautiful.
Boys and girls clubs. So thinking back to like my childhood and everything else, that's where I went for food and clothes and, to find passions. And so it was the least I could do moving out to Colorado and starting that for the community out here. So,
yeah, we talked about a bunch of stuff before started recording this episode, but we don't have time to get into it. So maybe you want to come back sometime soon. We'll finish those other ones. Okay. Yeah. So we'll stick to.
I can come back tonight. We can do that.
For real?
Yeah.
Would you got to leave for a short amount of time?
Yeah, just like a little bit.
For what? Private reasons? Tell the listeners what's going on.
Private reasons.
All right. Well, shit. Maybe we'll do it tonight then, man. Maybe you guys won't even know the difference because this episode's
we'll just cut it and blend it together.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
I just came up with an idea actually, Dillons.
Well,
we're gonna cut it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna blend it together.
That's nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's tease some of the things we're gonna go into later in this episode. Since we're gonna cut and blend. We're gonna dive into my conspiracy on this world and everyone around us being NPCs. Do you know what an NPC is, Dillons?
Non-player character.
Non-playable character.
Yeah, that was close. So
that was it for me, man. Yep. It worked. Cool. I'm a big believer that we have a lot of people around us. I don't think they even know that they're non-playable characters. I think they're just part of the program.
Well, does that mean that you think that you're a main character in your own reality?
Unfortunately, it is a little egotistical.
Okay.
But I am a playable character.
Okay.
But I'm going to explain some reasons why what I've observed in society lately that will confuse you, and it'll be hard to deny.
Well, I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah. Some of the other topics we're going to talk about is your experiences with Bigfoot.
Big feet.
Big feet. We're going to talk your religious path, which is very interesting.
Yep.
Especially being a young gun that you are.
Assalamu alaikum.
Whoa. And
that means may peace be with you, man.
I'm sorry, man. I could have swore I heard somebody on the airplanes during 9/11 say the same thing. I'm kidding. Comedy first, guys. I'm kidding. We're going to talk about strip clubs, our opinions on them. I'm sure you have a lot of yours.
Hard set ones.
I have a lot on those as well. And you may or may not have even been to one yet.
No, I have not.
Oh, he dropped a spoiler alert. He hasn't even been to one. And I can't even say this one. You're going to have to say it.
Which one? What race do you think that you could just absolutely dominate in a one-on-one fight? If you had to fuck up every member of a specific race. And listen, all right, I'm not racist at all. I was raised by black people. I'm
spoiler
Muslim.
alert. He was raised by black people, guys. This guy's story is very fascinating.
However, I do think that we all have a specific race that we look at and we think we can fuck up. I think for a lot of black people,
don't give away your answer.
White people. I think for a lot of black people, it's white people. I think they look at us.
Black people think they can fuck up white people?
Yeah, I think so. 100%, man. Which, I mean, again, I've already given you my example, which I'm not going to spoil. But it's like, I believe, for the average white person, we're not a strong case. We're not a strong race, man. Think about all the British guys.
I beg to fucking differ.
I mean, Conor McGregor was like their toughest.
He's Irish.
He's Irish. Yeah. And he was like their toughest one. And he's been what?
Beat by my Cajun buddy, Dustin Poirier. Shout out Team Diamond. What's up?
So that's what I'm saying. He's been taken out.
Okay, I don't know where you're going with that, but I'm so fascinated by this topic. And when you presented it to me, it made me uncontrollably laugh. And I cannot wait for you guys to hear this conversation.
It's going to be fantastic.
What else are we going to talk about? We got one or two other things we're going to talk about. Yep. We'll keep those as secrets. And you're going to get your 6 questions, which is going to be a good time.
6 questions.
So stick around, guys. We'll see you in a little bit.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Father, son, out. Do you not know how?
Huh? How?
Like a wolf.
Like a Indian chief howl? Or?
No, like a wolf howl.
Oh.
All right. When I say whoop whoop pack, you howl after.
I'm not gonna do that.
That's what we do on the show.
I feel like nobody else has done this.
Everybody who's been on the show has done it.
I can see you.
No, man, I'm serious. I'll show you. I'll do a whole montage.
Okay.
Whoop whoop pack.
Oh.
Boom. That's what it is.
That works, man.
Are you ready to go into the rabbit hole?
back, guys. We're back.
Don't even know.
You don't know. You were asking me a question a second ago, and I said, "Hey, save it. We're about to record us talking, so let's talk about it."
Yeah. So, obviously, as your listeners know, you
look how ugly my face is when I do this. I can be an ugly son of a bitch. Whoa, so can my son.
Yeah.
Genetics.
So, your listeners know that you're a big conspiracy guy.
Oh yeah.
If so you're such a big conspiracy guy, why do you have webcams and a podcast where the government can listen to you?
These are all fair questions, fair assessments. And my answer to you, Dillons, is I have accepted the fact that the government and people that control everything behind the scenes, and maybe even this simulation, are watching me and listening to me at all times. I've become one with it.
Okay.
That's why I live a very strange life, and I try to be entertaining.
Yep.
Because I feel like some guy, we'll say Greg works for the government.
Yep.
Greg's not involved with all the bullshit behind the scenes, but they make him do all the let's track this fool.
Yeah.
And Greg's like, he's just doing it. And it's like Greg has to show up to work and watch me and listen to me. I'm going to make it entertaining for Greg.
Yeah, because without you, he'd just go home sad.
Yeah, he's like,
beat his wife.
Yeah, Greg has an alcohol problem, and he has hit his wife a few times, but he deserves to be entertained at work. If you're going to go to work, I'm going to make it fun for you, man. So,
I mean, what would
he sees someone strange? He sees some strange stuff, man, and he hears a lot of strange things. But I do it for you, Greg. So shout out to Greg. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, FBI agent Greg.
FBI. It's deeper than the FBI, brother. It's deeper.
You see that new show on Netflix talking about like the deep government, how they control stuff?
No.
Oh, it's pretty funny.
What's it called?
Don't know. Yeah,
sounds good.
It's an animated show. It's like
animated.
Yeah, it's like an adult animation. It's pretty funny.
Oh, it's like mocking it.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to check that out.
Oh, it's good.
You don't remember the name of it?
Netflix and their
shouts to Netflix, huh?
Unnamed shows.
Unnamed shows.
Yeah.
Speaking of Netflix, I didn't want to get into this rant, but I'm gonna jump into it. Willy rants.
Okay.
You know the show YOU?
You? Yeah.
It's popular right now.
With JOE, Joe? And LOVE, love?
Yes. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, the main characters are Joe and Love. Why the name of Love? I don't know. Maybe it'll make sense later on.
Yeah.
But season 3, episode 3, really irritated the crap out of me. And we all have our own opinions on this. Everybody knows how outspoken I am on the vaccination stuff. If you want to get vaccinated, it's fine. I have no problem with you getting vaccinated, but I don't like people pushing on other people. And that episode, the propaganda on that episode was redonkulous about measles and the little curtain. Just check it out. If you watch the show and you're awake, you already know what I'm talking about. But I didn't like it. It irritated me the way they did that. Did you see that episode?
I mean, technically, wasn't that episode talking about like how Joe was not for vaccinations and so they didn't get them vaccinated?
No, he wasn't for it. He just was mistreated as a kid and didn't get it properly. And then their kid got sick because a neighbor didn't vaccinate their kid for the measles, and it was just like a play on what's going on with COVID, and it was so obvious what was going on. And I just don't like it, man. Don't be forcing your bullshit on people. Everybody's got their own choice. You want to get the shot, get your shot. If you want to get it, don't get it.
Yes.
It should be everybody's choice. It shouldn't be
forced.
Yeah, it shouldn't be forced.
Well, and this is something that's been highly politicized, which it makes it hard to even talk about, because if you say it, then you're leaning one way. If you say it the other way, then you're leaning the other. However, I would get this being, mandated if it was an eradication. If this was eradicating the virus of COVID, I could understand the mandate.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, you'd still want it to be a personal choice, but fine. But, for this just being a shot that isn't a cure, isn't even a promise that you won't get it, makes it tough to understand, the whole mandation behind it. Now, just for everybody listening, I am vaccinated, so, but, you still got to question it sometimes. And I don't believe it's some conspiracy with the government putting microchips in us, but it goes to speak about fear mongering and what can we get the people to do, and how can we pay out these big pharma companies billions of dollars that have been caught in multiple scandals before. Johnson and Johnson is the devil incarnate, so both the Johnsons.
Both the motherfucking Johnsons.
Think about it. Johnson has 6 letters to it.
Come on, man.
It has 7.
I'm about to say, don't make me count letters, man. Don't make me count on my own podcast. I hate counting.
But what's 7 and 7? That's 14.
It's a solid 14, bro.
Plus 3 for the
What are we doing here?
and.
Oh my god. All right. Next subject. Just so you guys know, Dillons is gonna reveal his background and his personality throughout this show. But he is not your stereotypical conspiracy guy like some of our guests are. Not all of our guests. We've had people that are just professional debunkers too. We're not just
That's really cool.
Yeah, we're not just catering to one side of it. We just like to question everything.
Did they ever make you feel like real stupid?
Oh yeah. I don't remember what episode it was, but Mick West's, he was on Joe Rogan one time. He was episode number 70 something, I think, on our show, maybe in the 60s. I could be off on that. Yeah. Look up Mick West in our library. But we brought him on, and our whole thing is, are you ready to enter the rabbit hole?
Okay.
His book was called Escaping the Rabbit Hole. I was like, what a cool guest to have to just debunk all our shit. Yeah. So yeah, he just shat on everything that we talked about. And I was like, oh.
Damn it.
All right, then.
He's got research and background on this.
Yeah, but I got YouTube videos. I got a degree in watching YouTube at nighttime in my bedroom, all conspiracy out and everything. But yeah, anyway, that's not what this is about, guys.
No, this is going back to the NPC world that you believe that we live in.
True that. Okay.
And you think that you're a playable character, and everybody else isn't.
No, it's not the case. Not everybody.
Okay.
I would say, let's see. Maybe 60%, or let's say 40% are playable.
High number.
Let's say 40% are playable characters, and 60% are just people that don't realize that they're just part of the program.
Okay, Ryan Reynolds, explain this for me.
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, he just did that whole movie about NPCs.
Oh, I need to watch that. I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Mm-mm. Free guy or free man?
Yeah, free guy.
Free guy.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna check it out.
I would go gay for Ryan Reynolds.
Would you?
You're telling me you wouldn't?
That's your hall pass?
You're telling me you wouldn't?
That's your celebrity hall passes to go gay. you realize you could have women too, right? Ryan Reynolds.
Will Smith, man.
Dude, Will Smith's kind of disappointing these days, man. He's getting soft, man.
No, Will Smith is not. Jada's disappointing.
Yeah, his whole family's disappointing. But yeah, I grew up loving Will Smith. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was like the pinnacle of our childhood.
Will Smith 100% raised me.
Did he?
Oh, big time. I mean, I learned all my life lessons from Will Smith and the Fresh Prince.
About Jeffrey, the butler.
Jeffrey G. That was my guy.
Him?
G was my guy.
Carlton was my guy.
Really, Carlton.
Mm-hmm. I could relate.
Nah,
we're both white.
You just love. Who did he love? Tom Jones.
Tom Jones.
You love Tom Jones. Tom Jones.
It's not unusual
to be loved by anyone.
Yeah. So NPCs, man. So I talked about this with Gingy recently.
Okay.
And I was on the phone with her while this was happening, and I was going to a customer to service a customer, and I was in the parking lot.
Do they know what we do for work?
No, we don't talk about that. It's confidential. Don't say it. I'll have to edit it out because I don't have my company.
But when you just say service a customer, what does that sound like to you, Eric? That sounds like prostitution.
Hey, we're prostitutes. That's what it is.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be. They don't need to know what we do for a living, man. It's private. But anyway, if you say it or you slip at any point, I'm going to have to edit it out because I don't want the company affiliated with my shenanigans.
I'm just sucking titties for money.
Whoa. So we go to companies and we milk them. We milk them for semen and breast milk. No, but anyway, I'm in the parking lot. So I'm watching this lady pull into a parking spot. Okay, so close your eyes and visualize this. You got your parking spots, your stereotypical parking lot.
Yep.
You can enter from one side, you can enter from another side, you can pull straight through if there's no other vehicles right there. You picture that, the typical parking spot? Do I need to draw a diagram on here?
Nope, we got it.
Okay. So this lady pulls up into an open parking spot, the front and the back. So you could drive all the way through so that when you park, you can just leave.
Mm-hmm.
She pulled in and carefully parked in her parking spot like there was another vehicle in front of her.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, that's a little weird.
I think that's just following lines on the road, but okay.
Yeah, but wouldn't you want to just pull straight forward so you could leave easy when you're done instead of having to back out?
Well, with our job, I think it teaches us to do that. But I feel like, imagine you never had to do that.
Yeah, but wouldn't you want to just drive out instead of back out? You're making your life
Well,
so
I
much
mean, you
easier
can
by
still
just
drive
pulling
out.
forward.
You can still drive out if you do that.
Yeah, but somebody could easily park in front of her at that point while she's in the store.
Maybe she's a gambler.
Okay, all right. You're gonna be cynical. This is gonna be perfect.
I'm not being cynical.
No,
I'm just
I
saying.
need it to argue my my topic.
Yes.
So, all right. So she goes, does her thing, grabs her lunch, comes back to her car, and carefully backs out.
Okay. So she does back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she has an open spot in front of her, but doesn't register it because her programmed brain, being a non-playable character, can only do certain things. Certain characters can do other things.
Yes.
So she pulls in instead of driving out of the parking spot safely. I'm just throwing this out there. Women aren't the best at backing out. Professional driving women can do a good job with it, but your casual woman, I've seen a lot of them just keep going back straight, and then they eventually start turning their wheel. Like, it's ridiculous. It is what it is, guys. Come at me. Leave it in the comments.
No, we'll save that for work.
But they're all professionals, though.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you just drive out at that point when you have a clear shot in front of you? You don't have to back out. A little weird. Okay. I'm on the phone for a little while. I'm talking to Gingy about it. I'm explaining it to her. She's like, yeah, that is pretty weird. Another vehicle pulls in, does the exact same thing.
Same spot?
Same parking spot. Different vehicle, different people. This time it's a guy.
Yes.
I'm going after both genders. There's only two of them, guys. I'm sorry I said it. We're going to piss everybody off in this episode. So this guy does it too. He goes in, gets his lunch, comes back in the vehicle, and backs out.
Okay.
Does not pull forward when it's wide open.
Okay.
You know how much more risk it is to back out?
Were these diagonal spots?
No, straight. What would be the change?
Was there any car coming behind you? Was there any traffic behind you?
I'm parked up against the perimeter of the parking lot, facing out at the parking lot.
Okay, so was there any traffic going on the other lane?
No, it's the same on both sides.
And just this sequence of events right here made you think?
No, it happened. A lot of things happen in my life. My observing this kind of stuff, but this is the most recent one. And since Gingy's a part of the show, even though she's not here right now, she verbally. What?
Rest in peace.
Come on, man! Don't say that. She verbally heard me explain it and how it all played out, and it's fucking bizarre, dude. I'm a strong believer. Okay, let me pitch why I believe this crap.
Okay.
So I'm still a simulationist. It's true. I believe we're in a damn simulation. This is all one big ass program.
There's a name for this?
I don't know. We could name it.
I like simulationist.
Oh yeah, I just threw that out there.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, I'm a simulationist. And I believe that there's like certain people that are, maybe we're telling a story or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's all in our own heads. We're all part of this big program. And the program that I'm in, there's people in it that are key players. And then there's your extra actors, basically.
Okay.
And the majority of people around us, I think, are extras, bro. I don't think they realize that they're extras. I don't think they can realize that they're extras. I think they have a certain little storyline to play, and their lives are being played out with it. And that's all they know. And they don't know anything else besides it. And that's what it is.
You're looking at me and smiling because you know that this is just.
That's what?
I'm not saying it's okay.
It's an idea. I'm not saying I'm not saying go to my church.
About this morning with it about like string theory and how once you get to a specific dimension within string theory, I think it's like the 9th dimension. It starts talking about how it's like a hive collective. It's like a hive mind, right? Which would make sense for the 60-40 theory that you just pitched. About like 60% just kind of following their lives and doing their own thing. But I mean, you got to think that 7 billion people on this planet also look at their lives as the main character.
Right. Which I think that's all they're able to do.
I think, who was it? I don't know if you watch a lot of stand-up comedians.
Oh, yeah.
You know John Mulaney?
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't he do the skit about like, everybody thinking that they're Denzel Washington?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that guy, to be honest with you.
He's not my favorite, but
I think didn't he just get Olivia Munn pregnant?
No, man, it was Chris D'Elia.
Chris D'Elia.
Yeah, the one that touches little girls.
Whoa, easy now.
That's what happens. That's not accusations. That's confirmed.
I don't think it is.
So let's just call it out for what it is.
I don't think it is.
That grown man eagle is out here just touching little girls. But he
Come
talks
on.
about he talks about how everybody like thinks that they're Denzel in Man of Fire. Everybody believes
That's
that
pretty
they're
funny.
that dude. Yeah, exactly. Everybody thinks that they're Denzel Washington.
I've never seen that movie, but I know what it's about.
Yeah, and everybody around him is just like the extra characters, you know. But you know, you look at the sequence of what happens on a day-to-day. I think there's a lot of weird shit that happens on a day-to-day, man.
You don't think there's?
No, I think there's a lot of weird shit that happens
Yeah.
on a day. I mean, you know, the world is always running with people with their own ideas, thinking that they're Denzel Washington, you know. So what if they just prefer backing out because they go, nobody else does this. I'm Denzel Washington. I'm the main character. Let me back out.
Back out of what?
The parking space. This is going full circle right now.
Back out, literally.
It's like a circle.
It's just a little circle is what it is. It's a tiny little circle.
So
I don't know, man. I don't.
I've thought about the simulation a lot because to get real personal and deep, I suffer from a condition called dissociation.
Really?
Yeah. And dissociation pretty much makes you feel like you're seeing your life through a third-party lens. So like, you know, when like feelings happen or like emotions happen, like you don't feel them because you're watching everything from a third-party lens.
Interesting.
Yeah, super cool. It comes from a lot of trauma.
Most things do. Most interesting things do.
But like, so I dealt with that for the majority of my life. So, you know, it'd be crazy for me to not think that I haven't thought about living in a simulation before. However, I just don't think that that's the case, you know, like, but
What do you truly think it is? What's going on?
I don't know. You know, you could equate it to a lot of different things, but I think, you know, this is gonna sound really stupid. You ever see that movie Men in Black?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's my favorite movie.
Favorite movie?
Yeah, big blockbuster. Will Smith.
I have a funny story for the first time I saw that movie.
Okay, so then let's hit that in a second. But
Hashtag sidetrack.
Tom Jones, to go back to Tom Jones. Tommy Lee Jones, he says a person is smart, people are dumb. Right?
Okay.
And I think that's so true because you can talk with anybody. You could talk to radicalists on either side. You could talk to a Black Panther, you know, leader, or you could talk to the KKK member, you know, the Grand Wizard. And I'm pretty sure you could find something where you could talk with them and find a common ground on either side, right? You could talk to, you know, anybody. A person's smart, they can rationalize, they can, you know, break it down to your level and they can relate it to their lives. People, though, once you get them, it's that whole, you know, where everybody goes sheeple, you know, as soon as you get a mass majority or a group together, they begin to act like a hive mind to where you can tell them, hey, jump, and then they're all going to say how high.
Right. So what you're telling me is we need to separate people.
I think people work better when they are separated. That's where creativity sparks from. You think
That's
about
true.
the best artists of all time, they were always known as weirdos that locked themselves away.
That's a good point.
Yeah, right.
All right. So 2022, we're starting a new program, guys. We're going to take people. We're just
Social
going to abduct
distancing.
you. Social distancing on steroids. And we're just going to drop you off in random natural areas.
Middle of Kansas. What are you going to do in a cornfield?
Middle of the Rocky Mountains. What are you going to do in the mountains?
Middle of the Bahamas. What are you going to do in the Bahamas?
Collect coconuts. And then, yeah, we're going to see how this works. We're going to make you NPCs main characters.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
I like that. All right. So tell me the story about the first time you saw Men in Black. You had a shorty with you?
No, I was too young.
You ever get freaky in a movie theater?
Oh, yeah.
You ever get your ass ate?
Oh, my God. No. No, me and my dad went to see Men in Black on his motorcycle. And I was like, what year?
Driving?
Huh?
Out of driving?
No, to the theater.
Oh,
I drove on the back of his bike, and it rained on the way home, and it was cold as shit and like stung like hell because I was in some shorts, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was rocking some denim shorts probably.
I did.
And I just remember that was the first time I ever been on a bike when it rained and it stung like crazy. That was my only memory. But it was a good bonding time with my pops. So shout out pops. I don't know if you remember that or not, but got a lot of fun motorcycle memories with him.
That's nice.
And man, what year was it? Men in Black, was that 95? 90? I'm gonna go. Let's try to guess.
No, because Independence Day was 96. We found that out today.
Men in Black was 97, 98.
Nah, it had to be like 99.
Yeah, it had to be 99.
99 or 2000.
No, it wasn't 2000. We're gonna go 98.
Okay.
Final answer. Willy says 98, and we'll look it up, and we're gonna tell you right now who's right. Wow, I don't know because I'm gonna edit this later, but I'm assuming I was right.
Okay. If you're not right, you got to put it up there.
I will. I'll eat it.
Okay. Good.
But yeah, Men in Black's a good movie. I've been wanting to watch it again because
Oh God, I love all three of them. A lot of people hate on the third one.
Oh man, I was about to say bad stuff about the.
I think
the
the
second
second
one,
one's
dude.
my favorite.
What?
Johnny Knoxville.
What?
Yeah, come on, man.
Is that the one with Wait, what happened in the second one?
The second one is where the alien ship comes down.
Okay, which
Space.
one was the leader guy in the Men in Black agency, played by Rip Torn, the actor, where he's like bouncing around and shit, doing weird shit. I was like, this movie has lost its damn
I
mind.
think that was the second one.
Yeah, I'm a pass, bro. I'm a
No, man.
pass.
You
I'll
know,
give it another chance, but that was.
I will.
I remember thinking, I
stand by
couldn't even
Will
watch
Smith
it.
to the end of time. I've seen all of his stuff. I've read his book.
He's got a book.
Yep, I've listened to all of his albums.
They're doing a documentary with him right now.
Yep.
You excited about that?
Oh, I'm so excited. So
About
that's
him
that's what
losing
I'm
weight and getting him in shape
yeah.
mentally and physically.
Yeah, it's already on YouTube.
It's on the YouTubes.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I love Will Smith, and so like even Wild Wild West, love that movie.
Mm-hmm. No comment. Terrible movie. What? Who
It's
said
amazing.
that? You know what's badass? I'm gonna say it right now. The Men in Black theme song that he made.
Here come the Men in Black,
Hope that you forget this.
Galaxy to Fitness.
I don't remember the lyrics, but
Yeah,
it was a
you
good
fucking
song,
don't know.
bro. I remember the dance move. I used to do it in my living room. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah,
He was too cool.
don't
Still
fear
is too
us,
cool.
cheer us. If you ever get near us.
Ooh.
I don't remember, but it was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna end this episode. I'm gonna hit you with the little flashlight thing, or you're gonna forget the whole episode happened.
Neuralizer.
The neuralizer. Yep. You said there was a third one. I don't remember a
Yeah.
third Men in Black.
The third one was he goes back in time. Tommy Lee Jones is like a young.
Oh, that's when Josh Brolin played him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Josh Brolin did a good job with that. I saw a clip
Oh
of
my
it.
God, yeah, he was spot on.
Yeah, Thanos.
You know what's crazy about Tommy Lee Jones is nobody really knows much about his life.
I heard he
Super
filmed
proud
a
of
movie in Louisiana, and people that I know were in the location, were a part of it. They met
Mhm.
him and John Goodman, who was also in that movie at the time.
Yeah.
They said John Goodman was extremely nice guy, very sweet, down to earth dude. And they said Tommy Lee Jones was a pure asshole.
That's all I've ever heard. But
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people get that misconception. I feel like he's not a pure asshole. I feel like he's just that good old boy.
Yeah, I think he.
Yeah, where like if you don't follow his ideology, you just
Yeah.
peace out.
No Country for Old Men. I feel like that's his mentality. He's like, I got no time for Hollywood.
Yep.
So
That's
yeah,
how I feel as well.
yeah, he's somebody I would love to meet in person and get my own take on.
Oh, big time.
As a kid, man, one of my favorite movies was The Fugitive. And that was like his big comeback breakthrough movie where he like won awards for it because he hadn't done a whole lot of big movies since I forgot what that movie was, but my mom would know. It's a cowboy movie. But yeah, when he did The Fugitive, that was like a huge role, big boost for him because he did such a good job as a U.S. Marshal.
Well, I think he's a good actor. You know what's funny is in the Batman movie that he played in,
Two-Face, Batman Forever.
He hated Jim Carrey.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And didn't think he was funny at all.
Oh yeah, he didn't think it was funny at all, and he was like, "Don't even talk to me on set." Apparently, they got into like a whole lot of altercations.
Yeah,
And
I
then
can see that.
Jim Carrey ended
I
up
see
getting
Jim
blown
Carrey
up.
pushing him and trying to irritate him more
Oh yeah,
just
and
because he's uncomfortable with him.
Jim Carrey like blew up because of his role as the Riddler.
Man, Two-Face, Harvey Dent, Tommy Lee Jones playing that character. He's a good cast for it, but not in that genre of Batman movies
Oh,
where it
sorry.
was all just a fucking circus show.
What do you
Like
mean?
every Batman villain
You
was.
didn't like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
It's time to cool down, chill, shh,
Danny
freeze. I missed the freeze. It's so corny, dude.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito is a penguin. He was born to play that role. But those are the movies I grew up with for Batman, and they were, as a kid, I thought they were the coolest shit ever. But
Yeah. Now you look back on it, you see George Clooney's nipples in it.
yeah, that's so stupid to put nipples on the
Focus
bat
on
suit.
it.
But this the way they did those movies, they're like every Batman villain was like just an over the top circus freak with an acid stained face.
Yeah.
Like they all had the same story. Like they didn't have any. Two-Face is not that character, and if it's kind of like soils Tommy Lee Jones because he's so much better. He's too good for that part of that genre with the Robert Schumacher, whatever the hell, whatever the guy was that did that.
Now you're
Batman.
playing into Tommy Lee Jones' ego.
Yeah, but he's like a solid actor. And that was just like an over the top character. It didn't make any sense for him to be.
I guess that's fair. That's fair.
Well, when that movie came out, dude, we were so excited. Like I don't remember what fast food joint had the rights to it, but they had like all their merchandise, all their drinks were like Batman Forever stuff. And
I bet it was McDonald's.
I'm gonna go with Taco Bell. We'll look that up too. Taco Bell used to be in the movie game, dude. When Demolition Man, you ever seen that with Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes? When that came out, Taco Bell had that one too. They even put Taco Bell in the movie. That was like the only fast food chain that survived in the future. And it was like the dominant one. Dude, Taco Bell had Demolition Man everything. Like anything you bought from there had Demolition Man crap all over it.
Of course.
It was awesome.
They had to find some way to sell the horse meat.
Whoa. Yeah, it's like 20% is actually meat, if that. It's gross. But yeah,
You don't eat Taco Bell?
I don't eat Taco Bell.
I'll
Taco
find
Bell,
out.
if you're listening, fuck you. You know, I don't want you as a sponsor.
That's cat. Everybody likes Taco Bell. That's like
It's gross, dude.
comfort food.
Comfort on the toilet.
Yeah.
Pass. No, thank you. It's not even. It's like 4 ingredients, and they just like throw it up in the air and like, oh, this is a new item.
You know what? I just want to take this time on Thanksgiving and say that I'm thankful for Taco Bell
That's awesome.
and the
Yeah, by the-
explosive shits that I get from them.
That's so disgusting, dude. Like fuck Taco Bell. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm thankful for the fact that we have the comfort of having different options to eat in this country. Like if I don't want Taco
Absolutely.
Bell, I'll go to Chipotle or Qdoba. I'm grateful for all the options that we have. Just random
What's a good
gratefulness.
Del Taco.
I hate Del Taco.
What?
Taco Bell and Del Taco need to have sex
Del
and then have an
Taco
abortion.
is hated on for no reason. Have you ever even ate at Del Taco?
Del Taco serves fries with their tacos, bro. They should just go
Have
home.
you ate at Del Taco?
Yes, it's gross.
When?
Twice.
No.
Colorado and
When?
North Dakota. Hated
Okay.
both times.
Well, Del Taco makes everything fresh in the morning.
Lies.
That's not lies. I had a
Fresh.
buddy that owned, like not owned, but was a what do you call
manager?
that? Yeah, store manager. at one.
Franchise manager.
Yep.
Whatever. Yeah. It's disgusting, man. Del
So
Taco.
good. I'll eat Del Taco over Taco Bell, and they cheap too. They're like $1.
That's disgusting. It shouldn't be cheap. The cheaper the food, the better.
Exactly.
No. Let's go. Let's go do some more fast food versus fast food.
I don't know about fast food versus fast food, but
Let's go
you ever
Chipotle and
think about-
Qdoba.
You ever think about the foods that you used to eat as a kid
Mm-hmm.
that were super cheap and you had to eat them because you didn't have a lot of money,
Mhm.
and now they're luxury? Like, I think about oxtail a lot.
Oxtail?
Oh yeah,
What the
because
hell
like
is oxtail?
you never had oxtail, like
Like,
oxtail soup,
Literally an ox's tail?
literally an ox's tail.
I don't feel like I want to eat anything's tails.
I mean, it's not good. It's not my favorite.
What's in a tail, man? What's a tail made out of?
Like bone, marrow.
That's disgusting.
Uh,
I don't want to eat.
I mean, it's got some meat on it.
I don't-
It's just got ass meat.
The only tail I could think I would ever want to eat is be like an iguana's tail. It's got some meat on it.
But that's what I'm saying. The oxtail does have some meat on it, just some ass meat.
Why you gotta be ass meat, bro?
You ain't never ate ass before.
Don't take it back to that. I spray Lysol over all my equipment.
But yeah, like when I was younger, that was the cheapest option to buy was an oxtail. Because like the
Where the fuck
butchers,
did you live?
Atlanta.
They just have oxes everywhere.
No,
Is it like cowtails?
well, yeah, it's like cowtails, oxtails. Like,
What the hell was going on in Atlanta, bro?
okay, either way,
You know what's
like the
disgusting is in
piece of
Louisiana,
meat.
we had like all these pig parts everywhere.
Yeah.
Y'all had that too?
Like, yeah, chitlins.
Yeah, but like you could go down the grocery store aisle and you'd see on the bottom shelf, they'd be like jars of like pig feet, pig lips, pig noses, all this gross stuff.
Oh yeah, pig snap. I don't like that.
Ugh. What's wrong with
Did
people?
you ever
man?
eat pig feet?
I thought you must say big ass. No, I've never eat
You never
anything
ate
pig
pig ass?
besides bacon, ham, and I may have bet a pig on the back one time.
Well, I try to stay away from pork.
Yeah.
However, yeah, going back, man, this is what we were talking about. Oxtail, okay? Make it in a soup. It was cheap to buy because the butchers usually just threw it away. Now that's luxury. Now that's like a high society thing to eat.
I've never even heard of it. How do you eat an oxtail? Like on a sandwich?
No, you just boil it in some water.
Oh, God, so gross, bro.
You fish it out of the soup.
It's disgusting. You burn the hairs off. How do you do that?
You don't eat a lot of crazy stuff, do you? I've ate like goat's eyes. I've ate monkey brains.
What?
Yeah, fish heads.
Dude.
Yeah.
I might have to make that a new thing with the guests. Like, what's the weirdest thing you've eaten? I think you might beat
That's good.
everybody.
Yeah, that's
Goat
good.
eyes.
Goat eyes. Yeah,
How do they serve that?
just
In
an
a
eye.
cracker?
No, just an eye. You just pick it up and eat it. Okay,
And we're back.
but
dude.
so you didn't eat oxtails, right? What about like pork chops,
Pork chop. Yeah, I eat pork chops.
right? Now you look at like the price of pork chops. They've gone up.
The price of everything in meat has gone up. Every price of
Frog
everything.
legs.
Eating frog legs.
Frog legs used to be so cheap.
It's not cheap anymore.
No,
Ribbit, ribbit. Try to catch me, bitch. I'm expensive.
I'm slippery little frog.
I'm a slippery little guy on the lily pads. See if you can get me. I cost more than you think now.
You know what else lives in swamps and woods?
Me? No? What?
Big feet.
Big feets.
Big feet live in swamps and woods.
Yeah, they call it the Rougarou back in Florida.
I feel like they don't.
All right, so you want to get into Bigfoots, man?
Yeah, I'll talk about big feet.
What's your experience with the Bigfoots?
I
I don't really have any personal.
I mean, I wouldn't
experiences.
say like I have a whole lot, but I believe in big feet.
I got big feet. You believe in me?
I got size 12. What do you got?
13 wide, bro.
No, you do not.
I do.
That's actually impressive.
I got a fucking hobbit feet, man.
Because what? You're like a couple inches shorter than me, aren't you?
I'm 5'10" and change, bro.
Yeah, so you're 2 inches shorter than me.
It don't matter, man. My feet grew full grown when I was like 6 years old.
That's how I feel too. I had size 12 feet in 6th grade, and I was 4'11". You know how stupid that was?
Well, you're my son, bro. I'm telling you, man. We're
Uh,
gonna do a DNA test after the episode.
But
Reveal it on the Patreon.
so
He
as
is
a
not
kid,
the father.
I believed in Bigfoot a lot, and when we first moved from Atlanta to Colorado, I was young. I was about like 10, and when we moved straight into the woods, I was terrified of Bigfoot, like absolutely terrified. I wouldn't go outside. I wouldn't play for long. And they said that like big feet, you was knocking on wood. They'll like pick up a log and hit it against a tree, and that's kind of like an echolocation thing for them,
Ooh,
like they're bats.
what?
Yeah.
Like some sonar shit?
Yeah, like some sonar stuff. So anytime I would hear that while I was outside, I'd immediately start running. But I had a buddy, and if you have ever lived in just the middle of buttfuck nowhere, everybody lives so far from each other. So I had a buddy that lived like a mile away from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to walk to his house, and then we would walk from his house back to my house, So I'll go and I pick him up. And I, like the beginning of this walk, he looks at me and he goes, "Hey man, you believe in Bigfoot?" I go, "Fuck no, no dumbass. Like, why you bring that up?" I'm like, "You so stupid. You believe in Bigfoot? Like, what else you believe in? The Tooth Fairy?" I'm like, "Stupid, bro." And so we walk for a mile in silence because I just, insulted this dude. And we get back to my place, and I immediately slam the door shut and I lock it. And I go, "Of course I believe in Bigfoot, but why are you gonna say that outside? That's his territory. He knows he's hunting us. He knows his name."
You think he preys on people?
I don't think he preys on people, but like, I think a lot of people have these conspiracies about Bigfoot being like a spiritual phenomenon as well, like a third dimensional or a fourth dimensional being.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, I'm not going to say anything to bring Bigfoot upon me.
Right.
I'm not going to put that out into the universe and have him attracted to me talking about Bigfoot.
My theory on Bigfoot, my dad has this theory too. My dad kind of thinks that he potentially could be a interdimensional demon type thing. I believe,
a fourth dimensional.
yeah,
thing.
I believe he's an alien species.
What the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, think about it, man. We got aliens. Why can't some of them have big feet and be hairy as fuck?
Because that's just a monkey.
But what if they're smart and they're taller and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna come visit all
Like
your
Planet of the
national
Apes?
parks, and I'm gonna come do a little quick cameos, and then if y'all see me, I'm like, I'm out. My cloaking shield goes on, and I jump into my ship, and I peace out." What do you think a Bigfoot sounds like? Okay. And do you believe they're meat eaters or omnivores or
I think they're
vegetarians?
omnivores.
Yeah, I think they're omnivores
But
too.
like you said, I don't think they prey on people. I don't think they come after us. I've never heard of a story with Bigfoot where it was bad, where like a dude got torn apart. I think
It's true.
every story I've actually heard of Bigfoot, they're actually helping somebody. It's in like a time of distress, and they're helping them get out of the woods.
Maybe they're angels, man. Maybe when we come back hairy as shit.
But okay, so going back to this whole string theory thing, they talk about like when you die, what does that next dimension look like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And apparently in this next dimension, as they explain it, is you're this long dimensional being, almost like a worm. But
I don't want to be a worm.
okay, but they just I don't think you really have a choice. They define the first dimension as
I refuse to be a
like
worm.
length, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second dimension as height, the third dimension as width. So then you have height, length, width, right? And then the fourth dimension would be another measure of something, right? And what is the next measure of something that we could theoretically relate to would be time.
Mm-hmm.
So in this fourth dimension, they call us these long, time worms, in which at the head of the worm,
Can I be a time snake?
you could be a time snake if you want. At the head of the snake is little baby Eric, little embryo Eric,
Okay.
just floating around in your mother's sack.
Oh, gross.
And at the end of this snake is old Eric, dead Eric, on his deathbed. And everything between that is every Eric that it ever has been in that little time snake. And then they talk about in the fifth dimension is how you can bounce between that time snake and see where every Eric has been in that specific time. And in the sixth dimension, they talk about how every Tom Eric snake ever has or ever will be.
Interesting. The dimension and multiverse stuff is getting to be more commonly talked about and entertained. I feel like
I think it's important.
I think we're being conditioned to understand it now because we're about to be revealed some stuff in the next few years that we are definitely we have different dimensions, different realms.
You realize things are being revealed all the time. The CIA confirmed the existence of aliens.
Yeah, they gave it to us and they stopped talking about it, and then everybody's like,
they just shut their mouth after they did it. They just released it quietly, and then they never said anything again.
give us that to chew on for a little bit so our little brains could comprehend it, and then maybe in the next year they're going to drop another bomb so we can start chewing on that idea too.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, I'm your father.
It's not the worst thing.
No.
Again, we talked about it. A person smart, people are dumb.
Yep.
You drop a whole bunch, you drop the truth on everybody, they're not ready for that.
I'm ready for it, man. Truth or theory.
That's the name of the show.
Shameless plug.
That's the name of the show.
So what got you to be the Dillons that we know of right now? How did you become who you are? And what is your religion?
So I'm Muslim.
I'm sorry, you said Muslim?
Yeah, Muslim.
Okay.
Yep. Islamic.
Is there a right way to say it? Is it Muslim?
Muslim is typically how you say it in Arabic.
Okay.
So it'd be Muslim.
Well, how would I say it if I was just a white guy from Louisiana?
Muslim.
Okay.
Yeah. Say it like with a harder S, like
Muslim.
Like you're blaming us for 9/11.
Muslim.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect.
Okay. God, don't forget that hard S.
So I guess in questions, pretty open-ended one. Do you want me to start at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go to the beginning.
Well,
what were you raised as?
Yeah, I was raised Southern Baptist.
Okay.
And Catholic, Roman Catholic.
Okay.
And so I bounced between these two churches a lot. However, I always thought it was, whack that we had a pastor standing up there that, would go home and drink and beat his wife or touch little kids and then, tell us how to live our lives righteously.
Hypocrisy.
Yeah, exactly. So for a long time, I went, and I guess you could call what I would say agnostic.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe that there was a God. However, his name could be Buddha, or it could be, Zeus, or whatever you want to call it. That's cool. I respect that opinion. But it never really stopped me from having that relationship with God,
Yeah.
And then I started reading all the religious texts, starting with the Torah. And so I started reading, about Judaism, the Torah, and that God. And then I read the Bible. And then I read, which I've already read, but reread the Bible. And then I read.
You've read the whole Bible?
Yep. And then I read the
That's
Quran.
impressive.
King James edition.
Get some.
Well, that's the closest you can
At
get
a
to the
hotel
original
near you.
text.
Yeah.
And even then, it's been changed by King James, right? So that's the closest you can get to the original text of the Bible because it doesn't exist anymore. But the Quran for 1400 years has never been touched, has never been changed or altered. So the text that you see today, if you went to the store and picked up a Quran, that's the same text that was relayed 1400 years ago.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, right. However, right, where a lot of people's misconceptions come from is they think that, Islamic or, Muslim is an entirely different concept. But we actually believe in the exact same God that Judaism believes in, that Christianity believes in. In the Quran, they actually mention Jesus 27 times. They don't even mention Muhammad other than 3 times in the Quran. Still believe in all the same stories. We believe in Abraham and Moses. Everything that's ever been listed from like the Old Testimony to the Torah to all that. So a lot of people think that there's this misconception where it's completely own sect, and it's weird because women wear hijabs and all that, but that's all choice, and that's all a cultural matter.
Yeah.
Like think about women out here in the US, like they wear high heels. It's the same thing. So I don't know, but yeah, again, like you read the Quran and it just makes things kind of more clear. They were talking about things 1400 years ago that science only proved within the last 200 years. They talked about what a human embryo inside a uterus looks like.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, this is at its infancy. Before like mitosis, it describes it down to a T, and that's something that science has only been able to show you within the last 200 years with the help of technology and medicine and microscopes and all that.
So I'm pretty ignorant to a lot of this stuff, but what do you think? And that concludes this episode, guys.
Good night,
Dillons.
No, go ahead.
No, so what do you think happens after life?
I think that's a very hard question to ask, because I don't think any religion has it down to a T, right? I think a lot of your religious based answers on that question are pretty cut and dry, and they always say heaven or hell, But what does that look like? What does that mean? I think that's something that we can't fathom,
Right.
And it's really interesting to talk about string theory, and then you look at what the Quran says about it. The Quran says, there's 7 different levels of heaven. And right now on this plane, on this 3rd dimension, we're on the 1st level. So this is technically the 1st level of heaven.
Of heaven?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they say that the 2nd level in heaven is so large that this 1st level that we're in now looks like a single dot, like a little grain of sand. Right? And that's crazy to think about, However, if you look at what string theory talks about, it talks about how in this 3rd dimension that we're in right now, in the 4th dimension, we'd look like a single dot. Right? So I think there's a lot of interesting correlation between string theory and what the Quran believes, and what does that heaven eventually look like. But I do believe that there will be a point that if you die, what does the afterlife look like for you? And I think it just becomes this elevated consciousness. I used to have, and this goes back to like when I was considering myself Christian. I used to have this pastor, and he would always talk in his Sunday service and say that we're just in these meat suits. And that used to gross me out as a kid.
That term is disgusting.
Yeah, I was like, ugh, I don't like that.
Hey, little boy. It's
Yeah,
just a meat
suit.
suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be shy, little boy. It's just a meat suit.
It's an old meat suit.
That's so disgusting.
Wrinkly.
A meat suit.
Yeah, you used to say that we're just in these meat suits. You know, like this is
Prefer
this
my
is,
father's term as a shell.
okay. Well, shells. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, he used to say that we're just in these shells, and this is what allows us to breathe. You know, on this planet Earth,
Mhm.
this is allows us to see on this planet Earth. But our consciousness, that's something that's, you know, completely separate from it. So, you know, for me to try to think about where does our consciousness lead in the next life or in the afterlife, I mean, that's so theorized, that's so talked about.
Mhm.
It could be negative, it could be positive.
But the reality is nobody knows.
Yeah, nobody knows, and no religion knows. You
No,
know,
and no one can know at this point.
no religion knows. I
But
feel
guess
like,
what, guys? I know. I'm going to tell you right now. Kidding.
I was about to say, you get out of the Matrix, the NPC.
Yeah, I got out of the Matrix and I'm back in to come tell you guys what's up. No, but I don't believe in hell. I'm gonna throw that out there.
Do you believe in heaven?
Yeah,
So then, how can you believe in one without believing in the other?
because it comes down to compassion, man. Like if no matter what creates something created us all, and whatever created me and created you, created me with the level of compassion that I have.
Okay.
And if I absolutely hate somebody like beyond belief, even that person, like the worst person out there on this planet, I still would never want them to be in an eternal fire of hell suffering. And I can't imagine something that created me would have less compassion than what created me that would put something in that kind of situation.
Well, I mean, in most religious texts, you know, they talk about how you could work your way out of hell and how it's kind of just a trial, it's like a test on you, you know.
Yeah.
It wants you to experience pain on a whole nother level, kind of as like, you know, when you're raising a child, you teach a discipline.
Right.
And I think that's kind of interesting because if you think about it, I was listening to this one, you know, highly respected philosopher, and what he was saying is
You don't have to give me all that kind of credit, dude. Just say we were talking. Just keep it simple.
But what he was saying is, you know, the human condition, you can get used to something within 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, so like that's
I've
why
heard 2 weeks, but 3 days. That's
3 days.
crazy.
The human brain can become completely conditioned and adjusted in 3 days. That's why you had so many of the, you know, inmates or victims at Auschwitz that were like, when the gates got opened by the Americans, they were just sitting there like, no, we don't want to leave. Like, this is life now. This is what we're conditioned to. And that's really messed up to think about. So he was saying that if you think about what hell is, it would have to be an ever-changing, constant stream of unpredictable pain. And if you think about it in that sense, if you think about what the world is right now and your life as a playable character, your
I
life
highly
is
suggest somebody play as me. I'm a fun character to play as.
but your life is ever changing and there's never a constant in it, you know. And you've had traumas, you've had pains. I mean, you've had good times as well, but you know, it's clouded in this darkness and this negativity that's unpredictable. So he was saying, you know, he doesn't believe it, but he was saying, wouldn't it be an interesting thought to think that this might be hell that we're, you know, in right now? That these pains are something to teach us lessons, and it's all about how we utilize these
That's
lessons.
crazy to think about.
I know, right? It's really blowing our mind.
Yeah, I can't believe I came up with all that. So I don't remember when we talked about it. But that's me, man. I'm
Taking
surprised.
a lot of credit, man.
That's what I do. I surprise people with my ways. Master Splinter.
Thank you, Master.
You're welcome. Donatello. So the next topic we're going to go into is like adjacent to religion and hell and heaven, basically. Right?
Yeah.
Something we were talking about earlier. We were throwing around different ideas to discuss on this podcast. Strip clubs got mentioned at some point. Don't remember how it played out. But you told me that you've never been to a strip club before. I find that fascinating.
I'm not, yeah.
Well, I don't know. How old do you have to be in a strip club?
18.
Okay, so you've had a few years to have gone into one. You just haven't gone into one.
Yep.
So why haven't you gone into a strip club, Mr. Dillons?
Damn. You asked me a lot of these loaded questions and super open-ended.
It's the name of this podcast. Open-ended, loaded questions.
Well, I was raised by pretty much all women. And I think it played a lot into understanding I guess you could say like the women's rights and the plight of women, right? And what they have to go through on a day to day. And so 1 in 3 women have a sexual assault or sexual abuse story.
That's depressing.
It is. I have 5.
You guys thought we were about to talk about strip club stories, but we're going deep.
I mean,
guys.
we're gonna get back to it. So
we're going deep.
I have 5 women in my family. 3 of them have stories.
That's terrible.
It is, but it is what it is, and that's life. And they got tested and failed. So,
all right, and the train's moving.
This is a comedy show. All right?
It's comedy, guys. Hey, my biggest saying in life is comedy first, feeling second, man.
Exactly.
Gotta have some fun, man.
You gotta dissociate.
Yep, dissociate. Operation Dissociation.
So I, it drove me to, speak with a lot of women. And like I said, I used to teach self-defense courses for sexual assault victims. So there's a double-sided coin to this. I respect the sex industry. I respect sex workers, and I don't think you can necessarily claim a stripper to be a sex worker. However, it's kind of like an adjacent industry.
Yeah.
So I respect
the club.
I respect him, and I think that's somebody that pays bills, that's somebody that has a family, that somebody has mouths to feed, and this is putting them through college or starting their dreams of their own business, right?
Keeping them going.
Yeah. But I don't think it's in my place to sit there and objectify women or sit there and pay for services that I don't necessarily need. Like, I can't touch these women, quote unquote, right? Depending on the establishment. I can't touch these women. Shout
out to our sponsor at Happy Days.
I can't touch these women. I can't take
Flamingo.
them home. I can't, take them on dates. I can't take them home to meet moms.
Yeah. It's like porn right in your face.
Right? Like, and that's just a waste of money. I would never spend money on porn.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I'll never understand people that spend money on porn.
Exactly. So
especially nowadays.
So it's not like I have any problem with it. I don't think they're nasty places. I don't think the people that go there are nasty. It's just that's not for me.
So to sum it up, Dillons doesn't believe in women being able to exercise their rights to do things.
Yep.
To pay the bills. He thinks women belong in the kitchen.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we got from it. No, I get it, man. I feel the same way. And after being a father, man, especially the daughters.
Right,
dude,
it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to look at it.
It's gross, dude. I went to one. I don't remember what year it was, but yeah, it was disgusting, dude. I was like, this is the first time I've been in one as a father, and I was the killjoy of the group. Man.
Oh yeah,
they all wanted me to leave, and I was like,
That's
I'm sorry, man.
I think
not for me.
Most young men will look at it and be like, oh my god, this is so exciting, and then they'll go in. But then, like you said, they'll have a daughter, and then it's a completely different perspective that they have on that.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes this creepy thing.
Yeah, it's creepy as fuck. And it's not just like I know I'm not creepy. I know my intentions aren't creepy, but when you look around when you're in a strip club and you see all the ones that are creepy, and it's like, man, why am I in here? This is a freaking cesspool of creepy bastards everywhere.
They're sitting there wearing sweatpants.
Yeah. I mean, the guys stripping aren't even that hot. I'm like,
they're eating their
y'all. I
chicken
assumed
wings.
it was a girl strip club. That's on you guys.
Yeah.
It's 2021. I was at a gay strip club.
Come on.
No, that would be something. Yeah, you bigot sons of bitches.
Sons of bitches.
No, I've never been one of those.
No,
I want to keep it that way. That would be too much. But
yeah. So I mean, it's just like it's not a huge thing that I hate. I just don't believe that that's the place that I should be in.
It's good, man. It's good to know that at an early age because you got that figured out early. Keep you out of trouble.
Yeah,
keep you from falling in love with a stripper.
Well, this is what I was talking with somebody that my shorty, and she was like, how do you view sex? And I was like, that's a weird question, because I think for me, like, sex is very intimate. That's like me sharing part of me with somebody, right? And now I don't know if that could be placed on because I grew up in the Bible Belt, and I grew up like hearing wait till marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's kind of the cause of it, but it makes sense, right? You think about the intimacy that comes from that, the hormones and the pheromones that are released, like they're literal bonding hormones that are released during sex. Like it's supposed to be this intimate experience. It's not supposed to be this, one night stand. And when you think about it in terms like that, when you get overstimulated with sexual images such as, porn or strip clubs or whatever else it might be, it diminishes that hormone, just like how testosterone can come to an end in males.
Mhm.
You're depleting your supply for that hormone to care or to, feel in a relationship.
Right, for its purpose to function.
Right. And when that becomes a problem, then once that's depleted, like, what do you have? You have a loveless kind of connection with somebody.
Yeah, that's true. You see, guys, you see why Dillons is ahead of his time. It's good stuff. Good stuff. I have a lot of opinions on that stuff too, but I'm gonna restrain for mine.
No, go into it.
I'm a big believer in sex being like I describe it as how they used to describe Native Americans didn't want their picture taken because it gets your soul's being taken from it.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. Like every time you have sex, you're giving a little bit of your soul to that person.
Yeah.
And the more you do it and the more recklessly you do it, or the more you do it where it's
Right.
just more of a recreational thing of socialized stuff, and the more you're diminishing yourself, you're lessening your quality, your spirit and everything. And
Exactly.
it just kind of, it's almost like you can see it in people too. Like you can see it in the people that have thrown it around, like that it's not as good, and you can see it in people that haven't thrown it around. Like it takes something from you.
Yeah.
You're spread out a lot further, and you're sharing. Like the term Eskimo brothers, man. We're all Eskimo brothers in a lot of ways, and it's really gross if you think about it.
It is.
And it just gets worse and worse with time.
But I mean, again, do you think that's us being raised in the Bible Belt and hearing that stuff constantly? Or do you believe that that's something that, either which way you probably would have believed? Do you think that's an environmental idea in your mind?
Yeah, I think it definitely plays a factor with our location and everything. But I've gone all over the place mentally, spiritually, as my 37 years in this world. Like I'm
sorry, what was that again?
Fuck you. I can't wait till you're my age and make fun of you if I can still do it.
At that point, you're gonna be like, what, 55? You won't even be able to talk.
Come on. Oh, dude.
Oh shit.
All right. Anyway,
Yep.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
You think our location has a little bit to do with it, but you've traveled.
Yeah, like I've experienced a lot. I've come and going out of the religion I grew up with, the ideology I grew up with, and bounced around, coming up with my own ways, defeating different things that I think about, whatever. But I think at the end of the day, like it's my own personal gut and experience and like what I feel. And I just feel like it's not something that should be thrown around casually. I think it should be something, I mean, it could be thrown around casually, but it has to mean something. It can't just be,
and I'm all about having fun. Like, again, a lot of my opinions and my path in life has come from experiencing a lot at a young age. So, you give me a credit a lot, but I think the credit is due to what I've been through and what I've seen. And, if these fingers could talk, man, they would be hoes. They'd have a lot of stories,
Gross.
But like, that's what I mean is, I always had such a hard set idea about what, sex and intimacy was, that I never wanted to cross that boundary of below the waist, so it's like I was a hoe in a lot of other fashions, like flirting or just like multiple relationships or things like that. And I don't think that was a positive thing for me either, but that's where it's like I got most of my experiences from. And I remember the first time that I even had sex, I felt so bad about it.
I would hope you can remember that.
I beat myself up for days. Oh yeah, I went and I repented.
Really?
Oh, I thought I was going to hell.
What was his name?
I don't want to make this joke. You might have to edit it out.
It was a guy?
No, I was gonna say Gingy.
That's awesome. He just thought you pretended to Ginger. I'm gonna edit that clip just for her to see it.
Please put it
not
in
for
the
the bloopers. All right. No, so
his name was Eric.
All right, for real. Yeah. So why were you so disgusted with yourself? And how old were you?
Dude, I was 15.
Oh, you beat me.
I was in a relationship for like 2 years prior, and she ended up cheating on me because I would not have sexual intercourse with her. Vaginal intercourse,
Classy broad.
like penis into vagina.
Let's keep it. Let's keep it pretty vague here.
Oh, so she ended up cheating on me, and I was really affected by that, really hurt. And so I remember I walked into a party because I used to throw a lot of parties when I was in high school, and I got up on a table and I just said, "Who wants to fuck me?"
So I just threw a lot of parties, not penis and vagina parties,
Not penis and vagina parties, but parties.
Yeah.
So I hopped up on a table. I'm looking over a sea of 40 drunk high schoolers, and I shout, I'm just like, "Who wants to fuck me?" And this one girl in the back raises her hand.
Janitor from your high school.
Yep.
I'll do it.
Eric Bordelon. He
Hey,
raises
bro, don't
his
throw my
hand.
name out there.
he goes, "I will." And so that's how I lost it. That was my virginity story. And it's not a super fun one.
That's really how you lost.
Oh, yeah.
Just a strange high schooler.
Yep.
Damn, bro.
100%. And so
This was just last week too, right?
yeah,
Oh man,
my freshman year.
Damn, dude.
So
That's not special whatsoever.
that was my virginity story. And
It really never is, though. It's not. It's
no, yeah.
very, very
Well, I
special.
mean, that's the whole thing. I believe people should have these experiences. And maybe I just beat myself up more because again, Bible Belt and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. But yeah, like when that happened, I remember leaving that room and I was just disgusted with myself. Not because of her, not because of the situation, but because I even, stooped so low to do that. And I mean, for weeks I just beat myself up and I was like, man, this is terrible.
Did you have protection?
Yeah, I did. And then 2 months later, there I am again in another vagina. And I was like, all right, this
Easy,
is
bro. This is a family podcast.
Please
We're
stop saying that.
We're
I
in the
feel like
family health category.
your mom and pops listen to this.
Yes, they do.
Was here first time. You have to tell this story. You
No,
don't
yeah.
get to back out.
I've already warned my family, like I'm not censoring stuff because they listen. Like this is my show, and I'm no limits with you, Willy.
All right, so then let me hear your first time. And
My
how
first-
you felt after.
Dude, my
Felt
first
like the king
time,
of the world.
I was 16, and like it was nothing like crazy. It was
Mhm.
my girlfriend at the time.
Jenny from the block.
No, no. It was nothing like nothing. There's no interesting story.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
just your girlfriend at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Y'all consented. I'm
Yeah.
hoping.
Yeah, we
Okay.
signed contracts, and
Yep.
once she got through the T's and C's, we were like, "Yeah, we're good. You
Okay.
good? All right,
Yeah.
and there we go."
And how did you feel?
Can you show me where it's at again? Oh, this is what I want to ask you, dude. Because I was thinking about what you were talking about, other stuff. We didn't pre-talk about this at all, so this is gonna be a blind question for you.
Yeah.
But you're a Generation Z young man,
Yep.
very different from my generation. You grew up deep with the internet all around you, deep
Yeah.
with porn all around you.
Yep.
So crazy to me. I didn't get that till like deep into my puberty.
Yeah, you
basically.
had to, touch the old man on the street corner to get a look at the Playboy.
You knew that guy?
I was that guy.
Little Mike.
Little Mike.
No, dude. Yeah, it was dark times, bro. There was a lot of like Sears catalogs and stuff like that. It's not what you guys y'all don't even know.
Home
Y'all had
Goods.
it so good. It's ridiculous, man. We had to hide porn magazines in the woods and stuff. And we all had our little hole that
Before y'all would go out there.
No. Anyway, so growing up with porn all around you,
Yeah.
that's all you know.
Mhm.
How did that affect your connections to women and what your expectations for sex and like
Well,
all
I
that stuff?
feel-
Like it seems so interesting to me.
There's so much psychology behind it that talks about how it does and how it is affecting these young kids and desensitizing them to it and exposing them to these weird fetishes at a young age. Like
Yeah.
there's so much psychology behind it that is absolutely wild. And the biggest thing is that women tend to be more addicted to pornography than men.
Really?
Yeah, the statistics came out. I think it was from like Pornhub, and it talked about how it's a 60-40% statistic
Yeah.
of like users and like true addicts, multiple logins from an IP address a day. So there's a lot to say about that. Now, I was never attracted to that. I actually didn't end up watching porn until I was in like 8th grade, which
Really?
I mean, to old person like yourself, that
Eh?
might sound absolutely, too young. But in my generation today, I mean, that's kind of an older age to be exposed to it.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's shit scares the hell out of me being a father. Like,
Yeah.
it just gets worse every generation.
Yeah, that's
but,
what I'm saying. Like, if 8th grade is considered to be an older age to be exposed to it, you got to think about
What age group is 8th grade?
that's like 14, 13.
Okay, because I was like 14 in the 6th grade, so it's a story for
Yeah.
another time.
Held back a couple of years.
A little bit.
You weren't socially adept.
I wasn't book smart whatsoever. I spent most of my childhood from public school in the hallways because I was a distraction for the rest of the class.
God damn it.
So
I could tell.
they just kicked me out. So eventually I had to just leave. But I'll go into that some other time. My
I'd
close
love to
friends
hear.
know it. I'll tell you about
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah, so if that's considered an older age group to be exposed to something, you got to think about how young these kids are being exposed to it. And I'm talking like 3rd grade. These kids are being exposed to. Yeah. And you got to think at that time in your life, your mind is going through so many different changes hormonally.
mhm.
What does that mean? And you don't even understand what attraction means at that point,
Right.
And so
And dude, porn is just so freaking nasty
is.
these days
It
too, man.
is.
Like
Yeah.
there's no limits. There's
Mhm.
no like there's
I
no
mean, it's
filter to
be-
keep
it's
it like
be
to
it's been-
grade you into it. Like,
yeah,
it's
it's
just
being
raw.
destigmatized.
Yeah.
So now all these weird fetishes that back in the day you would have been like, raising your nose to are now so broadcasted and just advertised, which is quite crazy. So there's so much psychology behind these young people being influenced by it. And what does that mean in total? I believe that the LGBTQ is not it's not like you made up your mind, right? Like you were born that way. Like I believe in everything that the LGBTQ stands for. However, there's a lot of science being put into it that being exposed to these pornographic images at such a young age, how is that chemically altering your brain to accept and see these things, right? What
Yeah.
does acceptance look like at that stage of the game now? And I don't know, it's a really messed up topic. And so to kind of explore everything, I mean, we really got to start going crazy with it. But I don't think it's good. Obviously, I don't think that should be such an easy access for things. I mean, even
That's something I wish too. I just wish it
Right.
wasn't so damn accessible for
well, I mean, you
young
got to
people.
think about even nicotine, right? The age to buy nicotine, you have to be 21 now, and you have to show an ID.
Mhm.
Even if you go to order something online that is nicotine, you have to show an ID. You have to submit an ID and proof validated.
Mhm.
With pornography, you don't have to do that. It says mature content. Are you 18 and up? But you don't have to submit anything to prove that.
Yeah, that's true. You just click yes or no.
Right?
It's
Exactly.
like, oh shit, I'm not 18 yet. Clicking no.
Damn it. Man.
That sucks, man.
I gotta wait.
So wait 4 more years before I can masturbate to this website.
So the psychology behind it is proving a lot of things of, where are these fetishes coming from, and where is the dissatisfaction now coming being intimate with, partners. And
That's what I wanted to get in with
Exactly.
you. Like, since you're
it's-
growing up with that.
It's so true. Like you look at, and again, I can't necessarily relate it to myself, but what I can relate it to is, the overall population, what psychology is telling us. And psychology is sitting there telling us that these fetishes are now creating such a fantasy in these people's minds that when they go to have, intercourse, it is completely displeasurable. They don't
Right.
enjoy it because now they're not getting the same sense of, okay, this is what I'm into, right?
Mhm.
And especially like for your virgins, right? This is their first time. Now they might have done stuff, on their own watching porn, but now this is their first time. I mean, you talk with anybody, that's such an awkward experience that you're not pulling out these crazy fetishes on your first time,
Right.
So now both partners are being so displeased in the situation that it's actually making sex become a bad thing to them. And you see that in populations like Japan, where now Japan's having a population decrease, and what is that called? Not a sufficiency, right? A sufficiency, deficiency. They're having a population deficiency. due to the fact that so many Japanese, young adults are watching pornography, that they're so disinterested in actually the opposite sex and creating and having a life form, right? And reproducing their population.
That's population control, man, through pornography.
It might be, and
I
they're
don't.
also sitting there.
Before I throw that out there, I'm gonna say I'm really back. I'm joking.
Really?
I'm joking. I don't think it goes that extensive. I think in the big picture of things, like good versus evil, like the evil side of everything, there's definitely bad intentions with a lot of that kind of stuff. But like, I don't know. I just think I'm a big believer in balance, and you have to have balance in your life. There's a place for all that kind of stuff, but if you overdo with anything, it's not good. It's super toxic.
There's sex addictions just as much as there is drug addictions.
Oh yeah, for sure. But as far as like women your age too, like, is that from what you've grown around your friends and your little communities and stuff, like, does that really mess people up? Standards and all that kind of stuff, because there's so much stupid standards with pornography that's not realistic.
Well, I mean, you got to think about the lines that are crossed when you are talking with a young population and about their, usage of pornography. And you also got to think about how that's still not a destigmatized conversation. So you don't get a lot of stories coming from people. What I can say is I think that it's opened up people so much, like the destigmatization has gone to a certain level, to where now you're seeing fetishes on a very broad level, and it's just I think you're seeing it more frequent, and I think that's kind of weird, because like I can't sit here and say that I have a fetish, right? Like I've talked about this numerous times. Like I don't have anything weird. I like sex, but like there's nothing about sex that I'll be like, oh, I want to do that.
And that's the thing that aggravates me too, is I feel like it almost makes the young people nowadays think that they have to have all these little weird things for their own identity.
And that's just what I was about to touch on. It's like it creates this idea in their minds where it's like, okay, I need this for pleasure, right? So now you have like let's take for instance a popular one is like the BDSM, like the tying up, and like that's some weird stuff to me, right? But you have a lot of your pain receptors and your pleasure receptors in your brain are so close to each other, and because of that is commonly linked with your sexual activity. So BDSM taps into two sides of your brain and activates it at the same time, and like the synapses that are released at that point is, well, I mean, obviously an end goal is orgasmic, right? And so you have this entire population that sees that, it becomes destigmatized, and then it becomes so advertised and put into their face that they go, oh, I need this for sexual pleasure,
right?
So then they do it, and now that becomes their fetish, right? And now then it's put onto every sexual encounter that they have or every sexual partner. And I can say I've been in a lot of weird situations with that, and I've had to hog tie a few biddies up, and I was like, this is weird, I don't like this,
Like, yeah, dude, there's some creepy shit out there, man. I reached out to a porn industry actress to get her on the show, and she talked about like the abusive side of pornography. I mean, that's some dark shit, man.
It is, and that's the whole thing is like that BDSM, there's such a line to be crossed, and then it starts getting into that, I don't even know the terminology within like the porn realm, but like it's that almost like gory side of stuff where it's like, let me
so twisted,
punch you in the face and let me beat you up, and then like there's even people that cut open other people and stuff like that,
right? And
they talk about it like, okay, here's the thing with
that's the stuff that freaks me out, man. The young people watching that shit that are impressionable.
Oh, big time, and they talk about it on such a scale where it's like there's a trust in that relationship, there's a trust between those partners, but like what you just said, the impressionable mind does not understand that there's trust in that relationship,
right?
And now they're thinking, okay, this is what I need for sexual pleasure, let me just cut this, and it's like, whoa, now you're crossing lines now. And then that's where the abuse comes in. Now that's where it's like, okay, now these women are truly being hurt in the bedroom, or now these men are truly being hurt in the bedroom, and that's touching into the borderlines of sexual assault and sexual harassment,
right? Yeah, dude, I don't like it. I wish I had the power to not let perversion enter anybody's mind while they're developing any of that kind of stuff around them. Like, I just wish it could be, blocked from them.
Yeah, I mean, you wish you could do that with addiction or depression or anxiety, but
yeah,
unfortunately that's not the case, and that's why I got into counseling, and that's why I got into helping youth, because it's just like that's where the impressionable minds are in the majority of the cases, and that's where the early development and the hormones that are being released are so easily chemically altered just by viewing a screen.
Yeah.
Like you think about Snapchat when it was released. Oh, this is actually a statistic that I got from your last guest, Angel. When Snapchat was released in 2013, shout out to Angel.
What's up, Angel? You know you're
When
watching.
Snapchat was released in 2013, you saw depression rates and cutting rates and suicide rates raised by 300% in young females. So you're talking about a 4 by 2-inch screen that is causing 300% spike in the depression rates of young females.
Damn, dude.
Right? Isn't that wild to think of?
Makes me want to turn into an EMP and just shut it all down, man. Save you guys from all the electronical distractions.
They talk about how any civilization that reaches a certain point of consciousness, of technological advancement, is doomed to collapse. And like you think about the Mayans, the Aztecs,
that stuff's fascinating.
Oh, right. But you think about and I'm not saying again that there's anything bad with LGBTQ, but you think about any population that loses its cultural identity for gender, and like what that looks like. And I'm not even just talking about like a man that thinks he's a woman, I'm not talking about the LGBTQ side of it, but I'm talking about these roles that, there are hunters and gatherers. There are these, set roles in society that only certain people can fill. When a population loses that, because now we've created such a, advanced world in which we don't need those, it collapses. And again, you saw that in the Aztecs and the Mayans and the Egyptians.
Well said, man. That's really good. Speaking of cultures and races and all that stuff, you did bring up something earlier that freaking killed me, man.
So to go from a woke conversation now to
just
being a woke wolf to now a sleeping sheep.
We're woke wolves just having some fun on the hills, man.
Yeah, and now let's be some sleeping sheep for a second. If you think there's a specific race of people, or let's even just call it a country, that you could just absolutely fuck up one-on-one. Now you think everybody in that country you could take one-on-one in a fist fight, and most likely the majority of the time walk away as a winner. Like, I mean, I'm just talking waves of just the people that you think.
This is one of the funniest questions I've ever been asked in my life. What race could you dominate?
What race could you fuck up the worst, huh?
All right, man. I know your answer. I think you know mine. Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. I was thinking about this earlier, and when we split up for a little bit, I was laughing to myself thinking about it more, and I realized that the race that I said, there's a fighter out there named the Korean Zombie, Chan Sung Young, I believe is his name. That dude is a machine, man. He's the Korean Zombie for a reason, because he could just take an ass whipping and just keep coming, like he's like brain dead. He just comes at you, just keeps pressuring you. So minus the Korean Zombie, I think South Koreans, I fuck all you guys up. I'm just gonna throw that out there. It's an open challenge.
And what makes you think that?
I don't know, man. You seen Squid Game? I kick everybody's ass on that show.
So because of
no, I'm just saying in general, man. Korean, I've never seen a Korean that I'm like
intimidated by.
Yeah, I'm not intimidated by you guys. If I could crush you guys.
See, and that's where I get my idea. Again, with the exception of the one dude from The Longest Yard,
the great
Khalid, right? I cannot fuck that dude up, because
I don't know, man. I got my money's on you in that one.
He's 7'1" and what, 300 pounds? Like,
I'm sure he's way more than
he's
300.
Shaq size. Okay.
Yeah, but
I'm not fucking up Shaq.
Shaq and him are two different things. The great Khalid is terribly coordinated. I think if you kept moving on him, you fucked them legs up, like working those leg kicks.
Right.
I think you got him, man.
Be swift and quick with it.
Yeah. Hit him like Spider-Man.
I think I could take out the majority of the Indian population. That had to be the most fucked up thing I've ever said.
There's that popular meme where there's that Indian guy. He's like doing something like that. Look at that.
exactly.
I'm putting that up right after you said that. What the hell, man?
What the hell, man?
You think you
Because,
can beat
like,
us up?
I was walking through one of my clients the other day, and large, population of Indian workers, and I respect the hell out of them. I do. Again, I have multiple kids that come to the Boys and Girls Club that are of Desi descent and Pakistani descent. So I respect the culture, but that's not what the topic is right now. The topic is, how could I just physically fuck up somebody? And I was sizing myself up to each and every one of these Indian dudes that worked at this office, and I was like looking at them like, "You a punk bitch! Like, I go fuck you up."
Oh man, it's too funny to me.
And again,
You're pretty accurate with it, though, man. I can't think personally either. I've ever come across one. I'm like, yeah, probably could kick my ass. Like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, right. Like, that's what I was saying.
It's so
man.
freaking funny to me. But that race is definitely, along with a lot of the other Asian races, that they are freaking. If they're on point, man, if they're using their life the right way, they can be some of the smartest people on this planet.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they do have phenomenal athletes. Think about cricket.
Who's cricket?
Like the sport cricket.
Oh, they have good at cricket players.
Yeah,
I
not
don't know
the
who
cell
cricket
phone
is.
character. Cell phone carrier, not character. That's what I'm.
I don't even know what the cricket cell phone carrier is.
Then what the fuck were you thinking of? Jiminy Cricket?
Yeah, that's the only cricket I know about, man. Always let your
Cricket
conscience
is
be your
a
guide.
sport like baseball, and that's India's national sport.
Is it really?
Uh-huh.
You need to play the cricket.
Yeah, they love cricket out there. And so they have some phenomenal athletes in that. But again, those athletes aren't playing NFL football. Those athletes aren't playing NBA basketball.
Yeah.
So
India is one of my biggest fears. Like
really,
yeah, the Philippines and India are two places I have like a secret phobia
wow.
of, because they have so much body mutations and like skin
abnormalities.
abnormalities. That's one of my biggest fears, is skin abnormalities and weird like mutations in India.
Really? So you
has
don't
so
do
much of that
do you
stuff.
not like looking at it, or you just
Both.
not like the idea of it?
Both, man. If I look at it, it gives me
They give you some heebie-jeebies right now.
dude. There's so many people in India that I've seen that have some crazy shit. And
When I was young, man, I wanted to be a biogenetic engineer, so I had to take a whole bunch of like your pre-med courses and all that. And let me just say, there's a lot of fucked up skin diseases.
oh, I know, dude. I've seen a lot
There's
of
a
them.
lot of
I have
them.
trypophobia. Do you know what that is?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
that pretty bad. And like the tree man that was in Indonesia.
Yep.
I said the Philippines. I meant Indonesia.
Okay.
Indonesia's worse for it.
Isn't the Philippines in Indonesia?
It probably is.
Okay.
We're gonna edit all this out.
Yep.
Make me look smarter. But yeah, Indonesia. Indonesia, the people, there's some stuff out there with that guy that was maybe like 10, 15 years ago. They called him the tree man.
Yes.
Where
Okay.
his skin was like turning into like tree bark and
Yeah.
just fungus from out
Just-
the ass, dude.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You know,
And then his daughter ended up getting it too. It ended up killing the guy.
Yeah.
He died from it. I think they salvaged the daughter as much as they could. They got her body like cleaned out of it.
Yeah.
But it's like intensive surgeries to get all
Oh,
that
yeah.
stuff off, because it
That'll
goes
mess up.
deep. And that stuff fucked me up when I saw
Just
that.
dead
dude.
proteins growing out of you.
So gross,
Did
dude.
you ever see the holes in the skin? No,
Come on, let's not go there.
Okay.
That concludes this episode. I can't do holes. I can't do weird abnormalities. Can't do it, bro. And then
he said trypophobia.
there's so many people in India like have like these elephant feet that are like multiple toes coming out the side of their feet. And they have like teeth growing in strange places. And
Well, I mean,
the water's
you
so
gotta
dirty
equate-
there too.
No,
man.
you got to equate that to terrible healthcare. You got to
Yeah.
equate that to a large population of poverty.
Yeah.
And, you know, like it's not like that's just the people.
All right.
That's
Shout
like
out. Grateful.
Yeah.
Doing Thanksgiving episode. I'm grateful that I didn't have to grow up in India, and I'm grateful that I didn't have to grow up in an area where the water was super severely polluted and compromised. We've been very lucky in this country to have pretty decently clean fluoride water, so we don't challenge the government.
I'm thankful for even growing up in poverty in the United States, still having access to top healthcare.
Yeah, same.
You know, so
Yeah, I didn't grow up. I went through a pretty poor phase, but yeah, we've always had what we needed, man. There's so many people out there that don't have that, and I have gone through that, so I'm very, very thankful for that. Let's do a cheers to growing up with the proper amenities, man, and not having
I'm glad that
things
you had
that
them. 'Cause I didn't.
trypophobias.
But yeah, you know, you got to look at it, and in that sense, it's a socioeconomic instability that causes a lot of, you know, I guess you would call them defects,
Yeah.
you know, birth defects and everything else. Really messed up.
All right, dude. So let's plan out this scenario.
Okay.
It's Dillons versus the Indians.
Okay.
Since that's the race you're gonna dominate.
Mhm.
They push past and they're calling out some guy, and then the guy shows up. It's the Great Khali. He's
Mhm.
like, he's the leader. He's the one you gotta fight first. And then he's like, no, you don't fight me. And he moves to the side, and then some dude with like 8 feet comes out, growing off of the sides of his legs. He's got teeth on his neck. He's got all kinds of disgusting fungus stuff going on. You gotta fight that guy. Would you be able to knock his ass out, or would you?
That dude can't move, man.
He'll get to you, bro.
That dude can't
He'll
move.
fucking squid game his ass right across the field. Oh man, it's so
I'm
gross.
just saying, man. I don't.
Teep kick right to the chin.
Well, you know, like I'm not sure how big you are on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, but I get a lot of TikToks.
Angel's my only TikTok connection. She
Yeah.
sends me TikTok stuff all the time. Shout out
see.
Angel for the TikToks.
I get little TikToks on my IG, my Instagram. And there's this like dude in India that's just, I mean, he's absolutely jacked, man. I mean, he
Call him out, bro. Tell
yeah,
him
he's
you,
big.
hey,
He's
you
a
want to
big boy.
represent your race? I'm gonna dominate you.
Yeah, right. He's a big boy, right? I feel like, you know, the Great Khalid and him specifically, I'm not gonna really hold a candle to, right?
Is
I
he
think
just jacked, or can he fight?
I don't
Because there's
know.
a big difference.
I don't know. However, I did see Slumdog Millionaire and the fight scenes in that. And again, I'm pretty confident I could fuck him up, man.
It's
Based
fucking
off of
hilarious.
Slumdog Millionaire's
I
fight
forgot
scenes.
about that movie.
I think that was a great movie.
Yeah.
After seeing M. Night Shyamalan, like a picture of him, I'm pretty sure I could fuck up Indians, man.
Oh, dude, M. Night's he's a bitch.
That, right? So
He's
that's
not
what I'm
made for
saying.
fighting. Yeah,
Uh,
what is it about that race, man? I'm trying to think about them more. And like, they don't have a very dominant way about them when it
I
comes
feel
to
like
physical.
you know, I feel like India is super large population, right? So, you know,
Yeah.
obviously we're joking right now, but I'm pretty sure, you know, 90% of that country could probably fuck me up, right? However, I feel like India doesn't represent itself as a dominating nation, and so that it doesn't strike a lot of fear into people. Your Bollywood and all that, and like the entertainment that comes out of India
Mhm.
is typically more of like a love story. Like it's not more about like the action fighting scenes and being like we're badass. And then you look at the history of India and how it's been conquered so many times, right? And you think about well, I guess the Mongolians never did it. You ever hear about the story of how what was his name? General of the
Genghis
Mongolians?
Khan.
Genghis Khan. Yeah, so Genghis Khan would not conquer India because he thought he saw a unicorn.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
know about this. You
Yeah.
sure it was that, not the bacteria?
No, it wasn't.
You saw a tree man?
Yep, no, he saw a unicorn and he said that's
Shout out to Genghis Khan, bro. He's most likely our uncle.
he's related into 1 of 3 people on the planet. 1 in 3 of y'all can trace your lineage back to Genghis
I'm
Khan.
not saying that he's my role model, but I'm not saying that he's not my role model. Everybody's getting pregnant.
Everybody's getting pregnant. Hide your grandmas,
Yep.
Hide your
grandmas.
moms. The Panthers and the Cougars. It's like a circle. But yeah, so you know, you look at, you know, they were dominated by the British and they were conquered so many times that I feel like you just kind of think it's a bitch made country.
You know what else doesn't help them is their voices. I'm not trying to be mean. If anybody's listening in India,
I feel like
we have a big international listening.
do you actually?
We do, but
Hmm.
I don't know if we're in
Welcome.
India. We're in the UK, Australia, South America, Canada,
All
a
those
little bit of
people hate
Russia.
India too.
We don't hate India. Easy.
Whoa.
No, we
No.
don't hate you guys. We
Yeah,
love you guys.
not at all. If you
No.
listen to the whole episode and don't take this out of context, we're actually saying very nice things about India.
Yeah, but on that point, I'm going to say something ugly again. But the way they talk, it's not very threatening. It's like very, like their
Like a
native
higher
language.
pitch.
Yeah,
It's a higher pitch.
their
yeah.
native language, and then when they speak English, it just sounds. I don't know. It just has a very unthreatening
tone to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't help the case.
No, I don't think so.
So you go dominate India. I'm gonna dominate
No,
South
South
Korea,
Korea.
and then I'll work my way up to North Korea, and then we'll meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, you think you can fuck up North Korea?
I'll take them, bro. I feel like
I
they
mean,
they
what?
would be happy if I did.
90% of the country is starving and you know,
They would be liberated by me.
in poverty. Yeah, so I mean,
Gringo, save us.
you're fucking up all the starving people.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm going straight to the leaders, bro. I'm gonna free them all, and then I'm gonna have a North Korean army.
So you're just fighting to be the next dictator of North Korea?
No, they're gonna follow me because I liberated them.
I just want to say that I'm thankful for the opportunity. To not be a domineering country like North Korea.
That's awesome, man. And I'm I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm thankful. I'm thankful that strip clubs didn't get my family.
God damn.
My mom or my sister had to go down that road. They stayed clear of them. I'm just thankful that wasn't an obstacle that they had to go through to provide for themselves. So
Oh, my mother was a hoe.
all right, guys. Till next time.
She had 7 different kids with 3 different dads, and I've heard stories.
7 different kids, 3 different dads.
Yep.
Okay.
And we don't know who one of the dads is, and we've heard stories about an entire Atlanta Falcons team. So
really,
yeah, my mom's was out there
Atlanta
making tricks.
Oh,
Tricks.
what year of Falcons? Can I ask?
You act like I would know. 82, 80s, 80. I don't know. Somewhere around there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Julio
Happy
Jones
Mother's
wasn't
Day.
on there. If Julio Jones was on there, I'd have a little bit more respect.
I can't remember any freaking Falcon quarterbacks, man. I used to be obsessed with the NFL and
Really.
when I was younger.
Matt Ryan's. You know, the
That's
recent
after
one.
me.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason.
I don't follow it anymore. I'm trying to think of who the hell the 90s Falcons quarterback was.
I couldn't tell you. I don't watch football like that.
I don't either. I think it's a major
Now, if
distraction.
it was the Atlanta Hawks, I'll be right in there next football.
What's that?
The basketball team.
Oh, it's basketball?
Yeah.
Is that NBA?
NBA.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like I've never heard of them.
The Atlanta Hawks.
Never heard of them. I guarantee you I could name all the NBA teams. So. Okay.
How many do you think you'd name?
How many is there?
32.
All right. Start the clock.
Yep.
New Orleans. Is it Jazz now or are they Hornets? Pelicans?
Now it's the Pelicans.
Okay, Pelicans.
But you were right on all 3 of those.
All right. Oh, there you go. I get points for that. LA Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando Magic.
Yep.
Toronto Raptors.
Yep.
Cleveland's got a team, right?
Yep. LeBron was big component on that.
Cleveland. All right, we'll come back to Cleveland.
Okay.
Their team names not coming to me. Utah Jazz.
Yep.
Supersonics.
They're out of the league.
Are they?
Yep.
Chicago Bulls.
There you go. That's a good
The
one.
Knicks. New
Yep.
York Knicks. I think that's it, bro. I don't.
Tap. All right. Well, let me go through this.
Was that how many was that? Like 5?
That was 7.
Okay.
So yeah, you got to.
I could do the NFL for sure.
Got the Portland Trailblazers, Los Angeles Lakers, Sacramento Kings, Golden State Warriors. Then you got Denver Nuggets, Utah Jazz.
How did I forget the Nuggets?
Yeah. Phoenix Suns.
Oh yeah, Phoenix. I know that one.
Mm-hmm. You got Houston Rockets, San Antonio
Rockets.
Spurs.
Oh yeah, Spurs.
Mm-hmm. So that's 10 right there. You got Chicago Bulls, Cleveland Cavaliers,
Oh, I wouldn't have got the
Yeah.
Cleveland. That was not
Toronto
going to come to me.
Raptors, Orleans Pelicans, Orlando Magic,
I'm gonna throw a state out there.
New York Nets,
Oh,
New
the
York
Nets.
Nets,
The Nets
or
and
the Brooklyn
Knicks.
Brooklyn Nets.
They're Brooklyn Nets now.
Yeah. Charlotte Hornets,
Oh yes, I remember the
Yeah.
Hornets.
Yeah, the Hornets went to Charlotte.
All right, that concludes this
Yeah.
subject. Fuck it.
Miami Heat.
Oh yeah, Miami Heats.
That's a good one.
I could definitely do the NFL, but I'll save everybody.
I feel like we're gonna cut out that whole part.
Some people might be into it. They're like listening, like they're calling them out faster than us.
Yeah,
Like, these
they're
guys are dumbasses.
Son of a bitch. How are you forgetting it?
Yeah, dude. I'm baseball. I'm probably worse at. I don't know.
Oh, dude. If you ask me about baseball, I could name 4.
Guess what I'm
Top.
going to do in a couple of weeks
Baseball
for the
game?
first time. I'm going to my first
Gay rodeo.
NHL. No, I've been to plenty of those. I'm going to my first NHL hockey game.
Wow, first.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never seen a single game of NHL, so I can't
Yeah.
talk about that.
That's I don't know a lot about it either. I like hockey in general. I used to
Oh,
like
do
playing
you?
street hockey when I was a kid.
Yeah, I think that's kind of fun.
But yeah, I don't follow any of that stuff. I don't know anything about it, but I'm super excited.
Yeah, right. So what are you doing? Are you going with Shorty or what?
That's confidential. They can't disclose who I'm going with.
Okay.
But I'm going with yeah, I'm going with some.
It sounds like it's gonna be a great.
I'll
time.
tell you off air. I mean,
okay.
it's not like I won't tell you. I just won't,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna put it out there on the recording.
For those that of y'all that don't know, Eric and I are actually best friends outside of this podcast.
Yes, father, son, best friends, brothers.
And I just want to say that I'm thankful for being able to craft this relationship with you, Eric.
I want to go ahead and say that I'm thankful that that the Ninja Turtles are being formed, and I found my Donatello.
That's me.
That's him. All day.
Donatello.
What am I?
Splinter.
Master Splinter. I'll take it. Little super rat. All right, dude.
Yep.
So we're gonna go
We got
one more
topics. Yeah.
one more topic that's related to the last one, but it's not as offensive. Period of time that you'd like to dominate, or what you think you could dominate the best at.
With our knowledge today, if we went back in time,
You got to go naked though. You can't go with like equipment and
that's
like,
fine.
yeah, you can't go with an AR or anything like that.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Oh, are we dominating it as in terms of like being a world conqueror, or are we just dominating it in our own idea of what domination means? Like
That's a good question.
Like
I thought physical. I thought like just physical domination. But
oh, see, because I was thinking more like this is just a time frame that like you would be that dude. Like everybody would know.
That's funnier. Let's go with that one.
You want to hear mine?
Yep.
I'm going 1970s.
1970s.
You
huh?
drop me in the 1970s. I come out of a time machine. I'm buck ass naked, but I have all the knowledge that I have of today. I'm killing it. I am Jackie Moon. I'm walking through. I'm putting out gold records left and right. I've never done cocaine in my life, but I'm just doing mounds of cocaine. I am on the billboards everywhere. They know the name.
What's your name?
Dietrich's.
Dietrich's. Dietrich's is killing it in the 70s.
Man, Dietrich's is messing up the 70s. I'm hitting the jive every night. I'm boogieing away. John Travolta ain't got nothing on me. I'm taking all of his acting roles. But instead of,
the way I use my wealth, my
exactly.
woman's man, no time to talk.
Exactly. But instead of falling apart at the face like John Travolta, I'm only getting better with age, like a fine wine, because I know which movies to take now. I know which roles
Damn,
to
bro,
take.
you got this shit figured out.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I saw how he did in Friday Nights. Classic. I'm going to take that role and I'm going to keep the momentum going. I'm not going to do Grease.
What's wrong with Grease, man? It's a hit.
Fuck Grease. I'm not going to do Grease. And then I'm going to do some other movies.
Sandy.
I'm probably going to do Shaft. I'm going to be the first white Shaft. Who was a man?
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
That's awesome, bro. Shit. So when you told me originally, I was thinking pure just physical domination.
Yeah.
But I gotta change my thoughts now. I'm gonna go ahead, since it's period of time. I'm gonna go into the future.
Okay. You think you're fucking up the future with what you know now?
That's how bold I am, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there
gambling
now.
man, just like the people that pull into the parking lots.
Yep.
It's like a shark.
2050. Your boy's coming back into the future. as 37-year-old E. Willy with that pure sperm, that pure unvaccinated blood. And I'm gonna fuck up all you beta bitches. And like, oh, this guy's like a real guy. He's not part of the metaverse. What is it? It's Meta, right?
I think
Yeah,
metaverse.
The thing that Zuckerberg's starting.
Oh yeah, Meta. Yep.
Meta. They're making it so we're like in this virtual world. Like I'm gonna be a raw American badass. I'm like the Clint Eastwood of 2050. And then women aren't gonna know. The women aren't gonna know what to do with themselves. Yeah, that's kind of gross because it's like,
yeah.
Oh, all right, take it back. All right, man. I've done myself up.
Women today don't even like the idea of what like a manly man is.
Some of them do. Shout out to those women out there that actually have some sense.
Yeah,
some sense.
Okay. And you think women in 2050 are going to?
I gross myself out so bad with the women thing.
Yeah,
2050 because that's like that's gross, dude. Yeah, why did I do that?
And you'd still be going into 2050 as a 30,000-year-old?
Oh, I know where I'm going, bro. I'm going into the 1860s.
You're a pirate?
Right on the back end of the Wild West, man. I'm gonna be.
Oh,
I'm taking over this shit, bro.
You think so?
I'm robbing shit. I know how to rob stuff and get away with it. I'm gonna be the most wanted bandit out there, and everybody's gonna have my wanted posters up everywhere.
That's a dope one.
Yeah.
I think I was a pirate, and like past lives exist. I think I was a pirate, and I'm not talking. Yeah, I don't think I was like a captain, but I think I was like
just a scallywag
dude swabbing the deck, just singing, pirate tunes. And yeah.
What about mermaids, man? You believe in them?
I don't. Well, I mean,
I didn't used to, but now I'm starting to get freaked out.
I can't say 100% that I don't, right? Like you hear about the stories of like, what are those called? Not nymphs.
Like sirens?
Sirens. Thank you. You hear the stories about sirens, and like, I mean, that holds a lot of a truth behind it. Like the psychosis of somebody that's stranded at sea will start to hallucinate and imagine things.
Yeah.
But like, what does that mean on more of like a higher level, or like the spiritual realm that we talk about?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a hallucination, or is that a siren beckoning you in, and like what does that mean? So I don't know. I can't say 100% that I don't believe in mermaids, but
I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there, just like Bigfoots. It's alien species.
You think mermaids
are a different type of alien species? Yeah, that are a very aquatic alien
species. We're in Pacific Rim?
What's that?
You never saw that movie where the big old robots are fighting the big old sea creatures?
Oh no, that's not my kind of thing. I don't like those big ass blockbuster movies that just showing off of special effects.
What do you watching?
Just chick flicks.
Veggie Tales?
Veggie Tales. No, I'm not a big fan of that stuff for some reason.
Okay.
I need a little bit of a story and some
romance.
No, I'm not a big romance kind of girl. I like crime drama, and I like a lot of depth to my characters.
Oh, okay.
You don't get a whole lot of depth when a big ass robot fight another space creature.
That's fair.
But that's what it is, man. So I'm going to the 1860s. I'm going to be the most outlaw cowboy there is. You're going into 1970s, and you're going to be Austin Powers.
Yep, that's the plan.
I like it. All right, homie. We're going into the 6 questions. We're going to take a short break, show you a little ad from one of our sponsors, and then we'll be back.
Hello, Rabbit Chasers. This is P. Hud with the Truth or Theory podcast. True hemp science believes the body is a temple, and given proper nutrition, our bodies, minds, and spirit will function optimally. They care about what is put in our bodies and supply only the highest quality, sustainably grown hemp products they can find, because they take pride in their products. Please go over to truehempscience.com for all your CBD needs.
Mr. Dillons.
Yep.
First time on Truth or Theory podcast. Appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you having me.
I just want to say I'm thankful for it. All right, man. So this is it. First time, 6 questions. 6 questions. Yeah, dude, It's time to shut it down.
Yep.
Number 1, if you had the power to make one law, which law would you create and why?
So when you gave me this question, I thought about this in kind of a different sense of not, a government law, but a law of physics. And I've always kind of thought to myself, like, fuck gravity. You know, I think it'd be a lot doper if I just kind of floated around. So
I like where your brain goes with this stuff, man.
yeah. So my law of physics is to, or my law that I'm creating is to get rid of gravity. So we're all just floating around now, having a good old time.
95 guests before you, man. No one's ever taken that question in that direction. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, fuck those guys, man.
Whoa, bro, that's my people. I like it though. Number 2, what 3 words would you choose to describe yourself?
This one was a hard one for me to think of because I don't like talking
Most
about
people
myself.
struggle with this one.
Yeah, I don't like talking about myself a lot. And I don't like it when people talk about me, you know, like when they
Like
praise me.
Like I do.
I
all the
can't
time.
take compliments, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Gingy and I know this about you.
Yeah. So you know, I would say to describe myself, I like people to think that I'm hardworking, that I'm goal oriented. And you know, I got some charisma to me, charismatic.
Yeah.
I think people like my sense of humor and what I bring to the table.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Number 3, what do you want to be remembered for?
So this was my biggest fear as a kid was dying and having everybody forget about me. So that, it was funny that this was even a question because like I used to think about this all the time and like what do I want to be remembered for? When I was young, I literally thought that I was gonna be the next Martin Luther King because I was obsessed with him. And then you know, my auntie had to look at me and she said, "Look at your skin, Dylan." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm white." So you know, I wanted to be remembered for something great and like world changing, but you know, that's such a concept that I feel like is hard to come by. So, you know, I think at the end of the day, if I could just be remembered for generations through my family, right? If they could be like, "Oh yeah, Big Daddy, you know, he was a very honest man. Like he had a lot of integrity to him." If I could really just become like a folk legend in a community, and they just tell stories about me and be like, "Yeah, Big Daddy used to pull up in his Sunday best church clothes in his, you know, 1970s Cadillac in 2070 and just hop out with his gold cane and gold tooth." And he would walk down the street and he'd be like, "Yo, what's up, young blood?" And he would hand out candy to the little kids, but it wasn't creepy because everybody knew Big Daddy. And
you call him Big Daddy, I call them Milk Chocolate Luther King.
Milk Chocolate. That's my stripper name. Milk Chocolate Luther King.
Yeah, bro. That's good, man. I
Yep.
like it.
Yeah.
Very, very you. And I mean that in a nice way.
Thank you.
Number 4, what is something you like that most people don't know about you?
So this one's a weird one for me because it's a kind of a double-edged sword.
I like swords.
No, I bet you do.
Not that kind of sword, brother. I'm a warmonger, weapon collector.
Oh my God, why can't I believe that? You probably got like maces and all.
No comments.
Dude, yeah. I don't like attention. I don't like it being drawn to me. I get very anxious about it. However, I used to want to be an actor, so I took years and years of acting lessons, of dancing lessons, of singing lessons. I took tap, hip hop, jazz, ballroom dancing. I used to sing anything from opera to, you know, hip hop.
What?
Yeah,
That's awesome, man.
yeah. So even though I hate the attention being on me, like that's where I really got to express myself a lot. And then it was kind of shut down, you know, due to criticism from outside sources and you know, me just trying to fit in. So that's when at the same time when I kind of found my direction into sports and when I figured like that would be a better path for me, or I guess just more, you know, quote unquote normal, is if I could just do sports and play basketball and do track and, you know, be considered a man that way rather than having the notion of not being a man doing acting and dancing and singing.
Word on the street is Milk Chocolate Luther King is a pretty good b-ball player.
I don't know what good looks like. I received a few collegiate offers, but it was to like the community college of Michigan. So they really wanted me in the Christian leagues. You know,
Well,
they wanted me to ball up at the Christian leagues.
Let's compare you to me so you'll have a better standing.
Yeah.
I can't run and dribble at the same time.
Okay.
So
I'm dunking on you.
yeah, there you go.
Yep.
So you're an all-star. He's on fire.
So yeah, I wouldn't say I was all too good, but I had collegiate offers for basketball and for track. as well as for academics, and I just never got to pursue that. But I still have a good time playing ball.
So you have big feet too for your size,
I do.
body, and everything. You grew up with big feet early on, like I did as well.
Yep.
Because you're probably my son. One of my biggest things is when I run and dribble, I dribble right onto my shoe, boom, and it throws the whole rhythm off.
Yep,
You never had that problem?
It happened for years because I did not come from an athletic family whatsoever. My dad was a tuba player. My mom was an art major. So for me, like anything sports related was, a physical anomaly. And I was super uncoordinated. I was white, so
I don't like all the white hate on this podcast, bro.
Fuck that. But so, it caused me to work just twice as hard at anything that I did. And I guess that's kind of just where it got to a point where I was practicing dribbling so much. That's all I used to do was make sure I didn't hit my clumsy big feet.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like scarred from that feeling of dribbling and running, thinking I'm getting a rhythm going, and then bam, it hits me on the
right
foot.
off the foot.
I'm like, damn it, bro.
Yep. Straight out of bounds.
Just ain't for me. I'm pretty decent at football, though.
Yeah, you said that. I mean, your massive head, I'm sure, caused a whole lot of injuries.
Never had to wear a helmet, bro. The Lord gave me one.
They didn't fit you, so they just set you out there.
Yeah, he came with his own helmet. It's that special boy, the big feet,
boy.
the
Big
big
feet
ass
and a big head.
Yeah, I'm like a puppy of a big ass breed of dog that actually just never turned into a big ass breed of dog. Just stayed a big awkward
Just
puppy.
an English bulldog, just big
Yeah.
head.
Oh, all right, number 5.
Mm-hmm.
If you could have any superpower, which would you choose and why?
I thought about this one for a little bit because I'm not a huge, superhero fan, and I don't know all the superhero powers. But I think I would enjoy stopping time, just living in the moment that you enjoy. If you've ever had, a perfect night with a shorty, just being able to stop that and relive that for years.
Yeah, dude, I would love that. I would love that in so many different ways. but
Right, like just vibe
napping
moments.
would be one of my
Exactly.
favorite.
Napping
Yeah.
would be dope. Like you could just stop time, nap for however long you
Yeah.
want. I mean,
Dude, that would be awesome.
you're sitting on a beach, just stop time.
Yeah.
Just enjoy that.
Doing some ghost hunting.
Stop
Stop
that.
time. Just let Michael deal with it.
Let Michael do it.
You ain't going nowhere, Michael. The time has been stopped.
Well, this is bullshit.
All right. Number 6, last question. If you could know the absolute truth on one conspiracy theory, which would it be?
So I also thought about this one. I don't think it would be a necessarily, deemed conspiracy theory, but what is the truth behind religion? Where does that,
That's basically mine.
right? Like, where does that end us up? What is the one God? What does that power look like? Right. I think that's a question that's, most people are curious about, but we talked about this in extensiveness earlier, not on the podcast. But like, I think most conspiracies are founded in truth. I mean, the CIA already unveiled aliens are real.
Mhm.
JFK was definitely an inside job.
Mhm.
9/11 was definitely an inside job.
Surprised to hear you say that.
I 100% believe it. So,
Same.
like, I think the moon landing was fake.
I believe that as well. I'm
Okay,
surprised
fantastic.
to hear that as well.
Yeah. So, I believe all that stuff. The government's known for years they've concealed it, but the one that nobody's ever really gotten to the bottom of or cracked has been religion or string theory. So
Very nice, brother. I appreciate it. I like it.
I appreciate you.
Well, listeners, thank y'all for tuning in for episode 96 with Young
I
Dillons.
just wanted to say that I'm thankful for y'all tuning in.
I want to say as well that I'm also thankful for them tuning in, whether you did it by audio or by visuals on the YouTubes, because it seems like probably a good solid 90% of our consumption is through audio.
Wow,
Are you-
90%?
Yeah, our YouTube traction is very low compared to what we get in downloads for audio.
Come on, people, start watching.
Start watching. How you ever
Tune
gonna
in.
know what Young Dillons looks like?
Yeah. How are you gonna know what
All right,
my
on
man
the count
Eric
of
looks
3, show them nipples.
like? 3.
Oh, y'all missed it.
Ooh.
Y'all, if you
Come
would've
on, you
got on
gotta tune
YouTube,
in.
you would have seen the nipples of Young Dillons.
Yeah. That sounds weird.
Is that that's disgusting. All right. Dude, what is wrong with me? I went so many wrong directions tonight. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. The next episode is a surprise. I'm not going to tell you anything about it because I don't even know what the hell I'm happening, but I'm doing yet because I'm hoping I get Gingy back on. If not, I got some other things in motion, but
On YouTube's.
On YouTube's 100th episode's coming up shortly. You going to come back for the 100th episode?
100%.
I like it. 100% for the 100th episode. All right. You remember what to do when I say woke whoop back?
Oh.
I didn't say woke whoop back yet. I gotta say it with power, bro. I need a how with power.
Okay.
Do you want anybody following you on social media or anything? You want to plug anything?
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. So silent but deadly.
I don't got a whole lot going on. So.
All right. There you go. Do you want to plug anything?
Just be kind to people. Obviously I run the Boys and Girls Club for the city of Lakewood, and I do Big Brother programs, and I do a lot of volunteer, and I think that all kind of stems from my past and my childhood. So if there's one thing that I could recommend for anybody out there to do is, just do better in your community, do better for other people, do better for your fellow men. So that's my plug. I don't need any type of recognition for that. So
there you go. I like it. Thank you for helping the youth. Let's reveal our hairs and say woke whoop pack with a how. Woke whoop pack. There we go. That's what it is.